run your elections. Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Fantastic. Okay.
I would
Excellent
second that
job.
suggestion, Frank.
All right, we just made it through the first two questions. We're going to move into our third question. Lara, that will be with you. And we're going to work from the inside out right now. We're going to work this way, and then we're going to work this way. So we'll take that mic this way. And Lara, let's have you begin with your question.
So we have a dramatic problem in the United States of America in that our food supply is under attack. Ranchers, particularly in the state of, not just in the state of California, but it's particularly relevant here because agriculture and ranching is under assault. And there's a water issue. Ranchers are forced to pay for water that they don't get. There's an overregulation issue. There's a climate scam hoax issue. Green policies are devastating the state. California is the breadbasket of the United States of America, and you have psychotic so-called environmentalists who are taking a tiny little fish called the Delta smelt and trying to pretend that that's a reason to divert the water from the Sierra Madre Mountains into the ocean without letting it fertilize the land. And I would like to know from each one of you your position on the green policies that are destroying this state, what you're prepared to do about it. I want the top three things, the first three things that you would do to restore family farms, to break the monopolies of the food packing industry, and to ensure that our food supply is not controlled by the World Economic Forum and all these other psychopaths in the global cult.
Fantastic. 2 minutes, Jim Athens.
So I think when we begin to solve the water situation here, it's going to be far-reaching, and it because it affects not only the crops and the agriculture, but it affects the cattle industry as well. And many people that are in one industry are also in the other. I know there's I can't remember the name, but there's almond growers that are also large cattlemen in this state. So beginning to address that, I tell you, running for governor, I got out the smartphone, I got the smart TV, and I looked at the problem for several days, and I wanted to have some answers for this state, and I can tell you, it's a mess. That was the solution I came up with, but I think along the way.
Jim, that's not a solution.
No, not the solution.
We need three. Give us three.
Okay. But I think along the way we can solve a lot of little problems, such as desalination for every small town along the coast. Santa Barbara gets 30% of their water.
The poverty is in the Central Valley, not the coast.
What's that?
The poverty is in the Central Valley, not the coast.
But Laura, aren't you able to put the pieces together? If we are getting waters for the coast, we can use more for the Central Valley. It's just simple math. So I would begin to start there. It's a big problem, but some hands-on solutions. I think desalination is one of them.
Let's blow up some more dams. That'll fix it.
All right, Jim, thank you. David Kallenberg.
Well, this is my expertise. So first thing we need to do is we need to end the emergency drought regulations that's in place, because with that, you can't drill a new well in California.
Hold the mic close, brother.
Second, we need to get rid of all the unelected officials in the state water board, and we need to do the same to the California Air Resource Board. So by doing that, you bring back farmers' water stability, you bring back cheaper cost of trucking because it's not in California, Cargill and all of them are in other states. So I produce meat. We need a lot more farmers in California producing meat and selling meat to compete with them and get rid of that competition and bring it back to the farmers and get rid of the middlemen, because there's too many middlemen making too much money in between us and the packer. So.
All right, thank you, David Kallenberg. Leo Zaki.
These environmental regulations are insane, and we've already figured that part out. So we have to do away with them. I have a background in agriculture. You guys are familiar with Zaki Farms out there? Okay, that's me and my family. I got to be a part of that. We were headquartered in the Central Valley, so very familiar with the poverty situation out there. We need to have water. I mean, without the water, there's no crops, and we can do this by Water Abundance Project, where we go and we build reservoirs throughout the state to collect the rainwater. We can build dams in our Sierra Nevadas to capture and harness the snowpack and utilize that as it moves downhill with hydroelectric. Obviously, we can dam up our concreted rivers in our metropolitan areas as well to get water that way, and build purification plants, and then desalinization on the coasts coupled with small modular nuclear reactors. CEQA is a big problem. It's preventing a lot of growth for anybody. I mean, not just in agriculture, but I mean, it impacts everybody. For me, we had a very difficult time when it needed to. We expand operations. You know, the eco-friendly guys wanted to have more square footage for the birds. So when you double the square footage, you half your output, and it's a big problem. We were the largest privately owned employer in the state of California, largest poultry producers on the West Coast. We had 4,000 employees. I mean, we had our own fleet of trucks, but then things like CARB come into effect, and that limits our ability to have good, effective logistics. Obviously the fuel's through the roof. It's insane what's going on. Am I missing a part of the question here?
Top three, well, no, you've answered it. You're doing
Okay,
a
yeah,
good
so
job.
dereg.
You're kicking butt, dude.
Okay,
You've given like 5 answers.
Okay,
She
okay.
only needed 3.
I mean, look, this is what I built my life around. I've been around it. I've been in the trenches. I've worked shoulder to shoulder with people in these environments. Like, I know what the issues are. I know what it takes. I mean, California has to be able to compete on the global marketplace. That's what we did. But with the business taxes being as high as they are, with the insufficient water, we have to make sure our farmers are getting the water that they need. 1.65 cubic feet per acre right now, insufficient. We need to bring that way up. We can do this. I have the plan for y'all.
Ms. Leozaki, excellent. Kobe Markham.
Thank you. I'd like for us to do a deep audit on our water resource management statewide. And in my opinion, God made the earth for us to enjoy, but also for us to take care of. So I believe
Preach.
in using the natural resources and managing them well. That doesn't mean not touching them, but it also does not mean not abusing them. I'm not a fan of the California Coastal Commission. I'm not a fan of CEQA. I'm not a fan of the California Air Resources Board. I have a Class A CDL and a DOT number, and those guys are down my throat. And I don't want those things impeding business in California. We have a lot of things impeding business in California. As far as meat packing goes, we need to make it easy for farms to take meat from the farm to the table and not have egregious regulations that interfere with ranchers' ability to send their meat to a local packing plant where that meat is fresher and possibly even safer than something that's coming in from out of state. I also want not just country of origin on that meat, but also we can possibly include county and city of origin that can give people like yourself an opportunity to choose meat packers that are closer in your area so that you can support your local farmers, you can support your local livestock, and have a clean conscience when you're enjoying your dinner. Have I missed anything?
Top 3 things you would do. I mean, you said it. I think you've answered
CEQA,
it.
CARB, yeah.
Kobe Markham.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kobe. Greta Solorzano.
Throughout the last 30 years working with Southern California Edison, one of the things that we encounter is a lot of problems trying to get the environmental approval to do most of our projects. However, we did manage to put a desalination facility in Catalina Island. It is extremely successful and well done. It works and it can be done. Now, for agriculture, obviously that only works on the coast. For the agriculture, we need to build dams and reservoirs to collect the water. That's the only way to do it. And the reason is because we cannot continue to deplete the aquifer. We have been pumping a lot of water from the aquifer in the Central Valley, so we really need to replenish it before we continue to deplete it. One of the things that I did in order to prepare for this is I started looking at some of the projects that have been done in the last 10 years to try to see where are we in building those dams, where are we in building those reservoirs. And it is sad to see that a lot of those projects have $20 to $40 million in just the planning stage of it. That does not fly in the real world, okay? That you cannot invest $20 to $40 million and still not solve the problem. So I think as a governor of California, one of the things that I would do, the very first thing, is to revise some of the legislature, put new laws in place. Because right now our hands are tied. There is not much that we can do without changing the legislature. We really have a lot of work ahead of us.
Thank you, Greta. Leo Naranjo.
Ladies and gentlemen, I just retired out of federal service, and I was working for the Bureau of Reclamation, which has now been doged out, and they're controlled by somebody else. And the Bureau of Reclamation does control a lot of water and trickles down to the state and trickles down to the administrators who always come up with some rule, regulation, or otherwise to prevent water from getting to you, the individual, to the farmers that need it, to the cattlemen that need it in order to produce what we produce here in California for our benefit. Some of the things we have to do, yes, those have been mentioned. We're going to take care of a couple of places that Mr. Newsom has stacked his personnel. Let me go one further. Anybody that has been posted to a position in California at the direction of Gavin Newsom, congratulations, should I be elected, you're going to be ending your career there. We're going to replace people.
There's a solution.
We're going to replace people who work for the benefit of the citizens of this state, not for the benefit of the governor who has aspirations of grandeur within his own mind. In order to get farmers to do what they need to do, we need to have the water available. That does not mean we empty out reservoirs and leave them empty for the next 2 or 3 years under the guise of fixing them because of a crack. Look what happened down in Palisades. We had an SB that was passed here in California, SB 1. We've yet to see any movement towards that dam being built anywhere in this state, and all we hear are platitudes and excuses. We have one of two things to do with the money that's been collected from SB 1. Find a place to build it, hurry the heck up and build it, or start giving that money back, and let's roll everything back and start it all over again the right way. I want to have people that's going to be in my administration giving me the best advice possible to move forward, to build where we need to build, but not on foundations that are shaky or by faults. We need to make sure that the farmers have what they need, and I'm going to work very closely with those individuals to know exactly what they need, why they're not getting it. And again, I don't care about accountability. I want responsibility. You better have a good excuse of why that's not being opened up for them, or there's going to be hell to pay.
Thank you, Leo. Ryan Tillman.
Awesome. So I spoke to a farmer about 3 months ago, and when I was talking to him about the current state of affairs as it relates to farming, he was telling me that there's all this regulation within our state. He said that they passed new regulations and I have to pay fees in order for the new regulations to go into effect. And then after I pay the fees to go into effect, I have to pay new fees in order to get my farming moving again. So we have to cut the overregulation. So number one, the first thing I would do as governor is to make sure we stop overregulating our farming industry. We have to. Number two, what we have to do is we have to start stimulating more control or creating more competition amongst farmers within the state of California. There's a monopoly over our meatpacking industry. There's a monopoly. There's about a handful of people that own it. So we have to encourage more people to go into the farming industry. As a school resource officer, I got to work at a high school where they had an ag program. And that ag program was so cool because it exposed kids to new things about agriculture. And what it did is it created more competition. So if we create more competition within the state of California, not only do we generate new revenue for California, but now we can sell some meat to other states. That way we can produce more income. And the last thing I'll say is the state of California is over-regulating our local cities. We have to bring that power back to the cities and look at the state for support. My dad was a president of the water board when I was growing up, and I didn't realize how important it was until I became an adult. But what's happened is the state of California thinks that they know what's best for every city, but they don't. So we have to be able to bring some of that power back to the local levels, allow the local levels to decide how they want to monitor their water and monitor their agriculture as opposed to allowing the state to regulate it. So those are the top three things that I would do if I was put in governor today.
Fantastic. Thank you, Ryan Tillman. Excellent. That is the completion of our third question. We're going to move over to our fourth question, 2-minute rounds again. Doug, we're going to pass that back to you, and we're going to do a random selection. I'm going to come and grab that mic, Ryan Tillman. Sorry about that. And we're going to begin with Ryan. We're going to begin with David Collenberg.
All right, so I got to pose the question first, right?
Yes, sir. Pose that question.
Laura and I sweat this one out. This is personal to us. We both did the Rev 17 conference in June. We both spoke
That
at
was
that.
amazing.
We raised $4 million.
Yes, that's right.
In 2 days. I see you, Mr. Kennedy. We raised $4 million for a new facility there to treat children that have been formerly sex trafficked. I'm pretty excited about it. And so I wrote a question and then Laura beat me up and made it more hard hitting. Are you ready? Are you ready, guys?
Don't mess it up, Frank.
Okay.
Doug.
It's all right. The United States sex trafficking industry is #1 in the world, illustrating the extent of our depravity. Our country is now spending more on raping little children than we are on illegal drugs. Our government schools are grooming our children for consumption, and our laws are empowering the government to take away parental rights from our children. First, how big of a problem do you think this is? Second, what are you currently doing to address it? I hate it when politicians say,
Great question.
I hate it when politicians say, if you elect me, I will blank. What are you doing now? And third, if you are elected governor, what do you plan to do about it?
David.
Wow, that's a powerful question.
Thanks,
So-
Laura. It was very powerful.
So one of my biggest campaign things that started this is our children are #1 most important.
Bring that mic up a little closer to you.
I have 6 children, and
Attaboy.
they mean the world to me. And what is happening in this country is disgusting. And people need to be held accountable. We need to fund our law enforcement to be able to make these people be held accountable. And they need to be punished to the full extent of the law. And if that means going to prison, that's where they're going. So we need to make crime punishable again. And these people have been getting away with way too much crazy stuff. And it's time for that stuff to end. Currently, I protect my children at all costs. I make sure that every moment of their life, I know what they're doing, where they're at, and who they are around, and make sure, because any person, they could be the normalest person in the world, could be the biggest creep you've ever met. So it's very important to know who your children are hanging around. It's important to know, so I protect my children at all costs. You know, our schools, it's crazy what our schools are being allowed to do. We need to quit indoctrinating our kids with all the political BS, all the transgender BS, all the stuff that goes on. It's time that stuff stops. And if I'm governor, I'm going to make sure that all that stuff stops and these people are held accountable for their actions.
Excellent. Thank you, David. Greta Solorzano.
Okay, so that one is a big one. We do have a lot of problem with sexual trafficking. And I think one of the problems is the fact that we have so much open borders here in California. So as a governor of California, one of the very first things that I will do is work with Assemblywoman District 71, Mrs. Sanchez. She is putting some legislative together to actually get rid of the sanctuary state here in California. So we're going to end the sanctuary state for California, which we need to do. After we do that, the second part that I will go for is the educational department. We have 1,500 employees here in California working in the education department. Our standards every day are getting lower and lower. And on top of that, we are indoctrinating our kids and preparing them for a market that is not appropriate for the kids. So definitely hold the educational department in their entirely accountable for it. And the last part is to hold not only the criminals that actually perpetrate those crimes, but actually the buyer. Because we know that there is a supply and demand. We need to keep both ends accountable for their actions. So I will definitely make sure that we expose the people who are purchasing that type of business.
Thank you, Greta. Leo Zaki.
The problem is enormous, without question. And yes, there is a lot of depravity going on in this country. I mean, we've become so desensitized with the world around us. It's sad. I mean, the media is pushing all these horrible things that people are being exposed to at young ages. I mean, the fact that I can go into an airport bathroom and see a sign, to let people know what they can do about if you notice sex trafficking. This is the America we live in today. We need people to get God back into their life. That's a very big one, for sure. And what I'm doing right now is I actually have a radio and TV broadcast on Salem called America Matters. I interview all sorts of people. I've interviewed people who have made documentaries on the subject, people who have actually experienced being sex trafficked themselves and exposing their stories to the world to help educate people on what's going on. And education on the subject it's really paramount. I mean, it can be happening all around us and we might be oblivious to it. And it's about learning what these are and making sure that we become aware of our surroundings so we can identify it when it's happening. And absolutely, the border is one of the, if not the biggest reason that this is occurring here in this country right now. I mean, yes, we got drugs, but the human life trafficking, and it's in this country. It's a disgrace. We're Republicans, the party that ended slavery here in America. This is still happening. There is sex slavery today, alive and well in this country. We have to get strict on this stuff. We have to make sure our borders are locked tight. And anybody that's involved in this, and there's a lot of, it's rings, it's organized crime that's mostly perpetrating this. So when organized crime is being in the situation, if you're part of an organized crime syndicate, you need to face serious jail time. No one-off offenses. You're getting serious, throw them under the prison sort of situation. Same thing with the cartels. I mean, these people should be labeled as terrorists, which Donald Trump has done with at least a couple of them. We need more of that.
Excellent, Leo Zaki. And Jim Athens.
Thank you.
Hold it close.
I'm sorry. Okay. So, I think one of the biggest drivers of this corruption that's going on in this country is illegal immigration. Can we please be honest? A lot of these actors are, do you remember Donald Trump going down the golden staircase and said they're murderers, they're rapists, and the country was ignited, because can we be honest? We've let a lot of people in here that are not good people, and then so it's changed the climate. Our climate has changed, and then I want to say
the question's about child sex trafficking. Okay.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I am, Laura. I'm talking about letting people in here that do these kind of things. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
Secondly, I think it's a moral decline in this country in general. Really, I mean, we support the garbage coming out of Hollywood. I mean, can I say this with at the risk of being unpopular? We've seen the enemy, and it's us. It's us. We support the garbage coming out of Hollywood. We have a porno industry in this country. When are we going to take our righteous stance? And everybody is saying, what are you doing about it? What are we doing about it individually? And I think when we began to move in those directions, but first and foremost, we got to get the bad guys out. Got to get the bad guys out, and then secondarily, we need to deal with the things that have caused a moral decline.
Thank you, Jim. Let's encourage them, guys. They're doing a great job, yes? Yes. All right, let's continue. Ryan Tillman.
Thank you. When I became a police officer, it was just shortly after they passed Prop 47. And when Prop 47 was passed, it reduced all the violent crimes and made it misdemeanors. So what criminals start doing is they start recognizing that they can get away with stuff, and so they start committing more crimes. So recently, as of last year, thanks to the courtesy to you voters, we passed Prop 36 that made crime again. So what we have to do is we have to make an example of people that are committing these sexual crimes against kids. One of the greatest things I see right now on TV is when our current presidential administration is taking care of a lot of these cartels, blowing up boats and stuff like that, because it sets the tone. It sets the tone. I am somebody that fully believes in redemption. I have a lot of friends that have made mistakes, but they have come back. And as believers in Christ, we should believe in redemption. But I also believe in making examples of people. Number two, we have to bring back the power to our parents in education. We have to get back to going to history, English, math, and the basics, and get away from pushing these cultural agendas on these kids. Because what starts to happen is we start to groom people in order to make it okay for them to do these crimes. So if I'm governor, one of the first things I'm going to do is, number one, make it strict. We're going to make crime again, and I'm going to be tough on crime. Number two, we're going to work with our current presidential administration to make examples of people that want to sex traffic kids. I have a young 7-year-old daughter, and I can't even imagine a young man going into the bathroom while she's in there. It's unacceptable. It's common sense. So we have to make common sense again, and we have to go back and making people punishing them for doing these sexual crimes. Let's close down our borders. There's a way to do it the right way. It's okay for people to come here, but we're going to make sure you go through the process, do it the right way, and that's going to be one of the first ways we cut down on a lot of these sex crimes that are plaguing the state of California.
Ryan Tillman. All right, fantastic. We are up with Kobe.
What I'm doing right now to combat
Let's hear it, buddy.
child sex trafficking is when I'm sitting on this stage, because I cannot think of being in a more powerful position than being governor of California to fight child trafficking. Some of you may or may not have known this, but the California Highway Patrol are actually the California State Police, and they have unlimited jurisdiction within the state of California. They can go into any state. They can go into Figueroa, where there's tons of child trafficking in downtown LA. I want to use undercover guys, and I want to bust these rings. Let me be crystal clear about something. I am not opposed to the death penalty for child trafficking. These people are destroying people's lives. And when you destroy somebody psychologically, the fact that they're still alive physically doesn't mean that you're not a murderer and a killer. And when we're working toward these things, we have to prosecute everybody. I don't care what elected position you held, how big and important you think you are, I will hammer you to the maximum extent of the law. And California should be the absolute worst possible place in the world to buy or sell in human trafficking. As far as some of the tactical stuff, in El Paso, Texas, they have scanners at the borders that scan the entirety of the truck. I would like to have scanners like that in California. They can also catch drugs as well. And if somebody is smuggling people in or smuggling people out, I want to catch them and I want to nail them and I want to turn those people inside out. That's why one of the reasons why I'm running for governor of California. Thank you.
Kobe Markham. Last but not least, Leo Naranjo.
Thank you very much, everybody, and the opportunity to answer this question. Really quick, how many people here have ever been in the military? How many people here have kids? How many people here have grandchildren? I've got 4 of my own. And let me tell you, as a parent, I don't know how the hell y'all do it. I graduated in 1980, and I don't know how y'all do it, to be able to send your kids to school and trust that if you sent Billy over there, he comes back to you as Billy. To trust that if it's Sally that went to school, she's back to you as Sally. I'm a union member when I was in the county service for 9 out of my 11 years. I've been in the military. So what I'm about to tell you is not just platitudes. It's not promises. You're not going to hear me use that word. It's not guarantees. You're not going to hear me use that word either. It's going to be action. For those kids that go to school, that need to go to school, their job is to learn and get an education. For those teachers in the union, if there are any here present watching or you have friends, let me make it very crystal clear to you as a former union member. Your job is to teach, not indoctrinate. If you don't understand the difference, you're going to be unemployed. And for those of you who don't think that I can cut the mustard or I don't have the strength, here's what I would say to the union folks. Grab your union rep, because we're going to have a talk and you're not going to win it. For those people right now who don't understand the difference of where boys need to be and where girls need to be, let me make it very clear. This is the boys' side, this is the girls' side. If you want a transgender side, we'll make one. If you want a transgender sports, we'll have one. But you're not going to keep commingling and forcing each and every one of you to accept what is not the norm. What have I done in this state running as a candidate? I was starting this as an exploratory candidate. I've reached out to the school down in Riverside. I've reached out to the school down in Temecula. I've reached out to those parents who are forming groups to challenge the stupidity of trying to get a lawyer to figure out the difference between a young boy and a young girl.
Thank you, Leo Naranjo. That, my friends, is the final fourth question. I'm going to come back over to you right now. All right. Did they do a fantastic job? Did we get everybody? We got everybody? Those were 4 complete questions. Now, Lara, Doug, I think it's time to take them into, how many questions did we just do?
We did our 4, baby.
We did our 4.
Yeah,
so you know where we go now? In the meeting room, baby! Are you guys ready? All right, here's what we're gonna do. Lyra, I'm gonna grab your mic. I'm gonna have you come forward. Doug, and let's lead these candidates into the meeting room. But before we do, let's give them a round of applause. They did a fantastic job. Well done, candidates. Well done. Lyra, will you lead us through? All right, here's my mic. Fantastic. Great job. That was amazing. We're not done yet. Are we done? Oh, no, we're just getting started. Great job, Doug. All right, so here's what we've got next. A very special next session before round 2. So what's happening behind the scenes is your first round of candidates that we sent out to the media room, they've just completed. Okay? They're working their way backstage as we speak to get ready for round 2. These guys are now in the media room, and I think it's time to say a very big thank you to our sponsors who've made this event special and made it possible. Dan Ball, are you back there? All right, we're bringing Dan Ball back to the stage. OAN's Dan Ball. Dan?
Microphone? Is this mine? How are you going to talk? You need to grab one.
Dan,
By the way,
I
next
got
time,
3 microphones and I'm out of here.
I'm going to have to break out next time my Hollywood heels. You know all the short Hollywood actor dudes like Pacino and those guys are all short and Stallone. You know they wear like heeled boots? Because next to Kim, I mean, I'm trying to pull all the 5'10" I got, but jeez.
You look good, Dan.
Get
You
out
look
of here.
good.
Okay, we got to thank some sponsors. We're going to run some awesome videos, and in a little bit, we're going to hear an amazing song, and we're going to have some live auction items, and I guess I'm responsible for all of that. So first, I got to get out of the way because you got to be able to see the screen here. So let me move over here. Let's first and foremost, we couldn't have put this on tonight without our main title sponsors, but I want to give a big thank you and a round of applause because this happens to be my home church. So I love Awaken. So can I get a big round of applause for the staff, the pastors, and everyone that's involved with Awaken Church? We have, I think, 11 locations now from Utah to California. There's tons around San Diego. So if you're not familiar with Awaken Church, I just had to say thank you because it's my home church and I love my pastors. So, and I love God. And if we don't I heard a bunch of the candidates say, if we don't get God back in our lives, you might as well hang it up. And not just in California, in the United States of America and on this globe, if we don't get God back into our lives. I firmly believe the fight we are in is a fight of good versus evil. It's not Republican versus Democrat, it's good versus evil. There's plenty of evil people even on the R side too. Okay, let's be real. All right, let's get to thanking some folks because we wouldn't be here without them. First up, and some of these we have a video to go along with, some are visuals, and I'm gonna tell you a little bit about these folks. So first up is Piece of Heaven. We have a video, but I want to tell you, if you don't know what Piece of Heaven is, this is a nonprofit based in Yuba City, California. Bold, boots on the ground, grassroots organization. Long-term refugee center for children that get rescued from being sex trafficked and labor trafficked. So they're doing great, great work. Their mission begins after they get them out of the hell that they've been put in, whether it's for days, weeks, or years. That's where they come in. They try to provide healing from all of that trauma. They say this isn't just a charity, this is a war for the child's future, and they're trying to build peace within these kids who've been trafficked. Go ahead and roll it, guys.
Every child deserves a childhood. Yet today, millions are exploited and trafficked. At the Church of Glad Tidings, for decades, our mission has been to find a need and meet it, find a hurt and heal it. So, we're creating Peace of Heaven Children's Paradise, a sanctuary for children rescued from the horrors of exploitation. We need support to transform this vision of loving care into reality. To learn how you can make a difference, please visit peaceofheaven.life. Your donation of just $1 a day could change countless lives. Peace of Heaven Children's Paradise. Together, we can bring healing, protection, and hope to children.
Beautiful. Big round of applause. You can clap between every single one of these, or we can wait and clap at the end. We do have a handful of sponsors. Second up tonight, and I think he was on stage, Pastor Showdown. He, of course, is one of the candidates, but he also helped to sponsor tonight, so we've got to thank him for doing that. Showdown's a husband, father, and community leader. Of course, you know he's running. Born in South Korea. After the war, his family came to the U.S. seeking freedom and a better life. Now living in Pasadena, him and his wife Sue, surrounded with their children and grandchildren. He is stepping up to serve, and we want to thank him tonight for helping out with some sponsorship cash. And do we have a video for Pastor Showdown as well?
In recent years, Californians have seen a disturbing trend. Families talk about justice. Well, recent years,
there we go.
Californians have seen a disturbing trend. Families struggling, businesses closing, and leaders who talk about justice while turning a blind eye to lawlessness. We pay the highest taxes in the nation. Billions have been spent on homelessness, yet the crisis has grown by 40%. Our state budget swung from a massive surplus to a staggering deficit. These aren't problems of resources. These are problems of integrity. And integrity is exactly what defines Che-on. Born in South Korea after the war, his father brought their family to America in search of freedom and opportunity. With little money and little English, they carried only faith and determination. That same spirit shaped Che's life of service. From planting a small church in Pasadena to leading a global movement spanning 70 nations, Che-on has spent over 40 years helping families, defending freedom, and training leaders. When the government shut churches during the pandemic, he stood up for religious liberty, taking the fight all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court and winning a landmark case. Integrity means keeping promises. It means accountability in spending. It means leadership that serves people, not political interests. With integrity, California can be renewed, families free to thrive, businesses flourishing, and justice fair for all. Our state stands at a crossroads. Will we continue down a path of broken promises, or rise to restore integrity in leadership? The choice is ours. The time is now.
Thank you, Pastor, for being one of our sponsors. Also tonight, the Salt and Light Council. Thank you, guys. Put their pledge up on the screen if you would. So the folks over at the Salt and Light Council are asking every candidate that showed up tonight, or any candidate that's running in this gubernatorial race, to sign this pledge. You can go ahead and read a few of them. I pledge to preserve the right of conscience for all citizens, including their freedom to practice the tenets of their faith, to protect innocent human life from conception to natural death, to defend the natural family and natural marriage, one man, one woman, and the foundational building blocks of society, to restore the natural right of parents to determine the best way to educate, raise, and care for their kids. And this one, I got to move over here, to promote free market economic policies that empower our families to achieve their highest potential. So, I don't know which ones have signed it. Salt and Light Council would like all of them to sign it tonight, and we hope they do. And thank you, Salt and Light Council, for being a sponsor. Also, you saw them out front when you came in tonight. Reagan Gold Group, that's one of our title sponsors. I don't know if you've seen gold and silver prices, but if you haven't bought, you better hurry up. It's like over $4,000 right now, gold's going for. 41, 42, 4,300 I saw in the last couple of weeks. So big thank you to the Reagan Gold Group. They've got a booth out front. You can check them out as well. Big thank you to those sponsors. We have a lot more to thank as well, but he couldn't make it tonight. He has been crisscrossing the country doing a whole bunch of events. Actually, I think I'm going to see him Tuesday at Mar-a-Lago for an event for first responders and our military, General Michael Flynn. We all know the good general, right? We love General Flynn. This is somebody, as a former military guy, just a little E4 in the Air Force when I first met him several years ago. And it was at a Reawaken tour up in Anaheim. It was my first sit down face-to-face backstage with him to do an interview before we both spoke individually at that event. And we were running behind. The room was too hot. I wanted to move him somewhere else. And the good general, I didn't know was a fan of mine. I was a fan of his and everything he went through. But he told me something that has stuck with me forever because he was on a timetable, which I see I'm going over time, so I got to hurry. He was like, don't make your problem my problem, Dan. Just fix it. That's kind of what we got to do in California. Stop complaining about your problems. Let's go out and fix the darn problem. And so as I was trying to explain to him, I'm so sorry. Can you give us another 10 minutes? He's like, I got to go. Let's do the interview or you're not going to get it. Don't make your problem my problem. Now, that was about 4 years ago. Since then, we chat on the phone, we've texted. He's a great man. But that right there really stuck with me because I think it's something that we all need to do more of. And with that, we have a little video, since he couldn't make it tonight, from General Flynn.
Hey everybody, this is General Mike Flynn, and I'm coming in remote, and I just want to say to all of you that I absolutely love California. In all my times out in California, what a beautiful state when you're in places that you can enjoy with people that you love, right? And for a lot of people in the room, I grew up, surfing and skiing, but principally surfing. So I've surfed many of the beaches of California. And when I think about the challenges that California is facing, I mean, the last time that I was there, we actually were driving into California from Arizona, and we had to fill up on the Arizona side of the border because the price of a gallon of gas was like $2 cheaper, right? I think we were paying, and we still had to fill up in California. So, I mean, I'm talking to the room there tonight because people know what matters, right? What matters, what the American people, what they care about, what the people of California care about, is they don't care about a lot of these political, these nonsensical debates that people are having. What they care about is how much they're paying to fill up their tank of gas, how much they're paying for a dozen eggs, for a gallon of milk, right? And so as we go forward, as this group of activists, right, sort of the choir, I'm preaching to the choir, you have to decide now it's time to, what I like to say is stand up, step up, and speak up. Get involved in your local communities. Get involved very actively. Get involved with candidates that matter, candidates that care about our country first and foremost, and don't care about their own, they're patting their own pockets here. I mean, we have too many politicians in our country right now, particularly in California, but all across our country. They look at particularly on the Republican side, they look at this being sort of normal times. I've had so many debates with people in Washington, D.C., that they go, oh, we'll get through the next election. No, these people are ruthless, and this is what we're facing. This is not about Republicans versus Democrats anymore. Yes, those are two-party systems that we still have because those are the apparatuses and the structures that we operate within. But believe me, folks, the Democrat Party of now the Democrat Socialist Party of America, They are dragging us down into a place we don't want to be. They're dragging us toward communism, socialism, Marxism, right? These ideas, these beliefs in a socialist way of life. And that doesn't work. That will not work. And that's exactly what the governor of California has done and many of the other leaders out there. I mean, if people really came to vote, if Republicans really came out to vote, and I mean voted in droves, particularly during the primaries and then during the general elections, the Republican Party would have no problems dominating all of the major seats, all the major elected seats out in California, as well as many of the local seats in like some of the cities and some of the counties. There'd be no problem. But what typically happens, especially on off-year elections, off-year being not a presidential election year, is people tend to say, I'm not going to get involved. I'll vote for, I'm only going to vote for president of the United States. We can't do that. People, you cannot do that. You cannot allow anybody to make that excuse to say, well, I only vote for presidents. I don't vote for governors. I don't vote for members of the House. I don't vote for local politicians. I don't vote for school boards. That's exactly why California, and frankly, every other state in our country is at risk because of that attitude. That we've allowed that complacency to sort of seep into our DNA, and we cannot have that complacency anymore. Our nation is at risk. We will not have a country that we're proud of if we lose another major election here. If this 2026 election goes in the wrong direction, we're in trouble here in Washington, D.C. We're in trouble in California. So my big message is to you here, and it's kind of what it says on this banner behind me, right? Faith, family, and freedom. We have got to have faith in each other. We've got to have faith in God. We've got to have faith that if we stand up and we speak the truth, and we speak it in a very passionate, very smart, very savvy way, that the people of California are going to listen to us, right? We've got to protect the idea of families. Families matter. And with this diverse sort of cross-section of the type of demographics that we have in California, we have a lot of families. And believe me, those people believe in the sanctity of life and families. So we've got to fight for families. We've got to stand up and say that this is exactly what we want to do. And all of that is designed to protect our freedom. I mean, we won't have freedoms. I mean, you don't have a complete freedom out there in California right now. There's too many things that are going on where people are held back in their ability to be able to exercise their God-given rights, and we can't have that. And we're moving more and more toward that up and down the coastline of the beautiful coastline of California. We've got to stop this craziness of allowing illegals to control our destiny. Illegals who don't assimilate into this country are controlling our destiny. They're controlling our destiny in California. They're controlling our destiny in this country. President Donald J. Trump is doing everything that he can to try to overcome that, but he needs everybody's help. It's like I tell people, we cannot count on just one man to solve all of our problems. It is up to each and every one of us, and I use the phrase local action equals a national impact, and so it's time for all of us, every single one of us in that room, time to stand up, time to step up and speak up. Yes, you're going to be attacked. Yes, you're going to have somebody say something nasty about you in a local newspaper. But if you're right, if you're honest, if you're saying what it is that you believe in, and all you got to do is stick to things like common sense and the values that we hold dear as American citizens, right? The main values of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness given to us in our own Declaration of Independence. I mean, that's what we're fighting for, and that's why I need you folks in that room tonight to really, I'm pleading with you at this stage. Get involved. Get involved with somebody who you care about. Put your egos aside. Get your arguments aside, because when it matters as we roll in from, like, let's say from the summer primaries into the fall general elections, all hands on deck. Okay. God bless y'all. God bless California, and God bless America. Let's take our California back. And a big intro for a great friend of mine, Tom Katz, who's going to blow you away with an amazing song about our friend and colleague, former colleague, Charlie Kirk. May he rest in peace, and God bless him for a lifetime of service to this country and his legacy that's going to lead us into the future. And I want to do one last big shout out to the very lovely Kim Yater, who has just been an amazing person and a great, great leader. So God bless you guys and enjoy the evening.
Are there 2 videos from Flynn? This looks like there's 2 videos.
There is another video from Flynn before the auction, but I'll talk to you.
All right, guys. So as a little E4, like I said, was that a good call to action from a 3-star general? So even if you didn't serve, you understand your duty, right? Your call to action. Get to work. Run for something. Talk about the issues. Talk about your faith. Talk about this woke DEI nonsense that's ruining our schools, our military, our companies, our factories. Get it out of there. Get it out of California. But everybody's got to do something. You can't rely on one guy, Donald Trump, or General Flynn, or some journalist that will speak up. We need all of you. All right, some more sponsors, and then we're going to have an amazing song from Tom Cass. You just heard the general talk about. And we have a couple awesome live auction items that you can bid on here in just a sec. But earlier we mentioned a nonprofit group that's helping the kids once they're rescued from being trafficked. Who are the guys and gals out rescuing those kids? One of our sponsors tonight is the Shepherd's Watch Foundation, who are out there helping to bring the kids home. Roll it.
Every day, approximately 2,300 children go missing in the United States. Around 80% of these missing children are high-risk runaways, and tragically, many fall prey to sex trafficking. This invisible crisis exists in every community, hiding in plain sight. The horrors of sex trafficking rob thousands of children each year of their innocence, their futures, and their lives. Shepherd's Watch Foundation is a non-profit organization dedicated to disrupting these criminal networks. Using cutting-edge technology and investigative intelligence, our team works alongside law enforcement to track traffickers and rescue victims. We bring hope where it's needed most. Over 2,700 brothel locations across Texas are monitored by Shepherd's Watch. In Dallas alone, more than 1,500 ads for trafficking victims appear daily. Our efforts, powered by community support and innovative tools, make it possible to illuminate and dismantle trafficking rings faster than ever before. You can make a difference. By supporting Shepherd's Watch, you're helping save lives and giving survivors a chance at a better future. Join us. Whether through donations, volunteering, or simply spreading the word, your involvement matters. Every day.
Thank you, Shepherd's Watch, for being a sponsor tonight, and thank you for helping to rescue these children. Lewis Herms is one of the candidates. He also forked over some cash tonight to help put this event on. It wasn't cheap, so we got to thank everybody that pitched in. Go ahead.
Lewis Herms here, your We the People candidate for governor of California. See, we have an epidemic in our state right now. It's child trafficking, poisonous and nutritionally deficient food, a corrupt medical mafia, and a litany of parasites that control every aspect of California for their own personal gain while stealing your hard-earned money. That's the true epidemic. This is not a Democrat versus Republican issue. This is a dark versus light issue. It is time for us to step out from the matrix of control that we are in and finally consider a candidate who actually puts people before party. I hope to be your choice as guardian of California. And I certainly approve this message.
They clap and he's rolling. Big thanks for helping out to keep the lights on tonight. All right, who else? K-Vision. Oh, this is our camera guy that's walking around here tonight. Kay Sorensen, where's he at? Do I see him taking pics, video? Where's he at? Well, come on, say hi. Get over here. Big thanks. Thanks for helping out tonight. Appreciate that as well. And I think we got a short video to tell you what K-Vision does. Roll it.
This is what you're waiting for. I think we're ready to rock.
Sorensen and his company, K-Vision. Couldn't do it without you guys. You're making us look good tonight. And one more video, Border Fusion Group. Big thanks to them for helping out tonight. Roll that one.
There are special places that cease to be special to us because we travel to them frequently. Has it happened to you? This might happen to the over 28,000 pedestrians that cross the San Ysidro border daily. A place that has been growing and consolidating through approximately 160 years. A place that brings together not only Mexicans and Americans, a place that is a part of a binational megaregion with 7.1 million approximate population, a place with a workforce of 3.8 million on both sides, and a regional shared economy of US $250 billion. The border might divide us physically, but our cultures and decisions make the difference. In B-Fusion, we choose to unite, to unleash the potential we see in this binational border crossing districts. We want to make this space to go beyond being a place of passage. We want you to live this experience that brings together the best of two worlds. B-Fusion is a multifaceted strategy that seeks to develop the potential of binational communities at our US-Mexico ports of entry that reimagines cross-border districts and allow human energy to flourish. Our strategy advocates building more walkable urban environments that benefit people. We promote programs and projects that will catalyze the full potential of the San Ysidro-Tijuana binational border districts. Join B-Fusion and be a part of this paradigm change. Become a member of this movement, participate in our events, and express your opinion in our blog. Help us achieve the full potential of the binational relationship. Become a member of B-Fusion and be a part of the paradigm shift. bfusion.org.
Big thank you to all of our cash title sponsors. Thank you. Also, we do have a handful of in-kind sponsors that I've got to mention as well because we couldn't have put it on tonight without them. Remnant Warriors of Liberty, William Burdine Photography, Parallel 8 Media, On Guard, Security on Demand, Sovereign Radio, San Diego Live Data, Patriots Made, and of course, Take Your Power Back Show and our friend Kim and Salem Radio. Big round of applause for all of our sponsors, in-kind and cash sponsors. Thank you so much. All right, now we're setting up for a little entertainment before we get to round two with the candidates you've not heard from. And you heard General Flynn talk about this man. I've had Tom Kaz on my show before. Tom moved like I know millions and millions of people, not just in our country, but around the world were moved on September 10th. No, not September 11th, September 10th this year, right? What happened on September 10th? Do we know what happened? We lost a warrior. We lost a man that I don't think in my lifetime, and I used to tell Charlie this when he would come on my show, I would say, how old are you, young man? And this was 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. So it would be, 25, 26, 27. So I'm counting up going, I'm 49, 50, now 51. I'm like, you're inspiring me. We always talk about Charlie. He was inspiring all these kids. No, Charlie was inspiring all of us. Charlie was inspiring a world movement. He was doing an interview a few months before his death. And Tom, you and Deepak can come out and get ready to sing for us. He was doing a podcast, and the person interviewing him said, if you were to be gone tomorrow, and he kind of jokingly said, Charlie's like, what, you mean if I was killed, if I died? Yeah. If you were killed, what do you want to be remembered for? This is a man with 2 beautiful kids, an amazing nonprofit, a global movement, gorgeous wife. He's got it all, right? You know what he said? Courage in my faith. That's all he wanted to be known for. Courage in his faith. That man's death has created a movement. I hope to God, I'm praying to God, a revitalization in our belief and our faith in God, in the Word, in Jesus Christ. And so with that, I will turn it over to my friend Tom and Deepak to sing a song about our friend Charlie Kirk. Tom, take it away.
Thank you, Dan. Good evening. Can I say good evening? I wrote this song. How many of you guys remember the day Charlie died? I do too, because my dad was put to rest that day, so I wrote this the same night. He was just a boy of 18, when he saw the call to lead. Built a fire in the heartland, planted one determined seed. He said, let's give the boys the freedom, let's let the young ones free. So we traveled coast to coast to make the strong stand with the weak. So we craved the bag of freedom, he held the line of truth. In the face of fear and darkness, his courage is the proof. On the day that Charlie died, a million voices cried for the courage of a young man who refused to run and hide. He lit a torch of reason in the storm of endless nights, and though they took his life away, they'll never dim his light. From the halls of every campus to the streets of every town, he stood up for the values that some tried to tear down. He believed in open voices, he believed in an honest fight. Now the truth he sparked will let go on, carried in the morning light. So we carry forth his banner, we'll keep his dream alive. In the spirit of his mission, his legacy will thrive. On the day that Johnny died, a million voices cried for the courage of a young man who refused to run and hide. He lit a torch of reason in the storm of endless nights, and though they took his life away, they'll never dim his light. We'll remember Charlie's courage as we hold his banner high. For the day that Charlie died became the day we learned to fly. On the day that Charlie died, a million voices cried for the courage of a young man who refused to run and hide. He lit a torch of reason in the storm of endless nights, and though they took his life away, they'll never dim his light. We'll carry on, we'll speak the truth out loud, in the land that Charlie loved, and wanna make him proud. Yeah, we'll speak the truth together, yeah, we'll speak the truth out loud, in the land he loved so deeply, we'll stand forever proud. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Tom and Deepak. Big round of applause. Tom Kez, everybody. You want to stay out here and help me with the live auction? You're out of breath, but you can hang with me, right? Can you hang?
Yeah, for
Okay, help me with the live auction. Let's do this.
Yeah.
All right, first up, we have some special guests. So who spent a few minutes out in the foyer looking at the booths and checking out the different candidates and everything that was out there? Did everybody see the stuff when you came in? Yes? You saw the booth that had all the sparkly stuff, all the MAGA and Trump, the purses, the shoes, the whatever, right? Come on up. Jason, let's go. Get up here, guys. Big round of applause. This is Jason and Sonny. They run that booth. They are die-hard MAGA folks. I have seen them down in Palm Beach, around Mar-a-Lago, selling their merch. They have some beautiful stuff. So they brought something tonight that we're going to do. We have 3 live auction items. Tom's helping out as well. You can be our model. You can hold some of the items.
Deepak's gonna help.
And Deepak's gonna help too. Nice. Thank. What's up, brother? How you doing?
You played my song on your show.
Oh, I did. Well,
Yes.
thanks for reminding me. I don't know what I do every day. My wife tells me what to do and I say it.
No, don't.
Okay, anyway, she's watching at home right now. I know what I'm doing. I'm not stupid. Okay, so this is pretty cool. I thought we would start out. We got some great artist renderings here that you can bid on. And oh, by the way, would you like to remind them where the cash is going? Because it's your nonprofit to help first responders. So tell them where the money's going.
Yes, 30 seconds or less. First of all, thank you all for being here. It's an honor to be here tonight. I appreciate all of you being here and all the wonderful work. My organization, Whiskey Town Warriors, first album's called Whiskey Town. The Whiskey Town Warriors initiative is to try to create more awareness for our veterans struggling with mental wellness. So I've put together a team of doctors, nutritionists, and I'm funding programs through live events, through my barbecue sauces and merchandising, as Dan knows. And part of the mission here is working with General Flynn to create more events where we can raise more money and give back to communities where those veterans are struggling. So what we're going to do tonight is I have two pieces, as Dan knows. One of these.
You guys have one cool piece right here, by the way.
They got a cool piece
Wait till you
too.
see what this is. We're going to start off with some Trump merch.
You tell them about that, and when you're ready, I'll tell them about
Okay.
these.
But all this cash will go to his nonprofit, which is going to help with suicide prevention for our first responders. And let me tell you, folks, from the military to our cops and firefighters and paramedics, we shouldn't have these numbers as high as we do in this nation. So let's stop it, okay? Because like
Amen.
military, the government says 22. My experts tell me it's more like 44
Absolutely,
military
yeah.
veterans a day are taking their lives. Let's eradicate that. So, all right, here we go. This is cool. Remember when Trump dropped his shoes and everybody lost their ever-loving mind about the gold high tops? Because they were, oh, he's just pandering to the black community. Well, a lot of people liked him in the black, white, brown, yellow, red community because they sold out like crazy.
You got a pair, Dan.
These guys, I didn't. He didn't get me a pair.
Here's your
I didn't
chance.
buy a pair.
Right here.
Nope, I'm not taking away from somebody in the audience. So, I don't do the whole, hey, give me 4.5, I don't do that crap. We're just going to start out the bidding, and you're going to bid. Can you show them the shoes? I know they're very picky about, like, they don't like skin and grease touching them. He's very picky about these shoes. They're size 12. So I don't know if you're going to buy them to put them on the shelf or if you're going to try and wear them. You better have a big foot. I got about an 11. They ain't going to fit. Look at those babies. That is, and these are the
24
authentic
karat gold, baby.
Trump shoe. By the way, how many of these
Deepak,
were
that's
made
all
in the
you.
size you said?
400 made.
This is one of 400. That's it. One of 400 in this color combo and that size, one of 400. I'm going to start the bidding. You guys usually retail these for like thousands of dollars, right? When they first went on the market, they were only $400 or $500, but they sold out in like, what, a day or a couple days? Yeah, you guys bought them all. Oh, 1 hour. How many did you buy?
Ladies and gentlemen, Deepak will be modeling the shoe this evening.
So, again, remember, this all goes to Tom's nonprofit to help suicide prevention with our first responders and military. Can I get an opening bid? And don't make me look stupid. $1,000. Somebody bid 1,000 on these shoes and take them home today? Don't make me backtrack. Can I start at 1,000? Who'll give me 1,000? Anybody? Raise your hand. Start at 1,000. Don't make me go back to like
1,000 right here, Dan. Right here.
$1,000.
I'll
We
keep
got
an eye on
1,000.
this
Thank
side.
you.
My
There's
side's
one.
gonna
Can
win
I get
all the
11?
bids.
Can I get 11? I got 1,000. 1,100. We got 1,000. Can I get 11? Who will go 11? Let's go 1,100. We got 1,000. See, I can do it a little bit. 1,000 here. 1,000 here. Can I get 11? Can I get 11? Anybody? Raise your hand. Come on. 1,000 going once. Nobody's going to jump up and do 1,100. 1,000. There's 1,100. We got 1,100 now. 12. 11. Can I go 12? That's you. 11. Can we go 12? They're giving each other dirty looks. 11. I need 12. I know. Come on. What's up with that? You're going to go 12? She's at 11. Go 12. 11, go 12. There's 12 now, 13. Can I get 13? She's at 12. 12, can I get 13? Nobody else is bidding. I'm just going to go over here and hang out with these ladies right here. I got 12, I need 13. She goes 13 now, you go 14. This is how it works. 13 now, go 14. You guys yell at each other. 14, come on, let's go. Come on, 13, let's go 14. That's to you. That's to you. 13, I need 14. 13 going once. 13 going, oh, 14, now I need 15. 14, now I need 15. See how much fun this is? 14, now I need 15. Let's go. Come on, keep bidding. Remember, you're helping Tom's charity so they can stop people from taking their own lives after they serve us. That's worth a couple bucks. 14, now I need 15. 14 going, 15, now I need 16. Oh, she keeps nailing you.
Great Christmas
15,
presents.
now I need 16. 15 going once. 15
Anybody
going
on this
twice,
side
I
wanna
need
get in
16.
again?
15, I need 16. Anybody want to jump in over here on this side? No? Okay. 15, I'm about to sell it to her. $1,500. Sold! She's taking all the Trump shoes.
Big round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was cool.
Thank you so much. All right, cool. Awesome.
I mean, if you get bored with them, I'll wear big socks. I could probably make a 12 work.
All right,
I will
Deepak,
take
you're
those
such a good. Give up for Deepak modeling the shoe.
Really nice. All right.
I'll tell you what we got.
Right there. She's your winning bidder right there. If you guys want to go collect, thank you.
Dan, you want the story?
This one is
This
connected
one,
to
we're going to
General
do this one
Flynn.
first. This
Let's
is
do the
General
one
Flynn,
connected
yeah.
to General
so
Flynn
what
first.
before you turn around, Dan knows this. So I wrote us. Anybody ever heard of General Michael Flynn? Anybody read his book, Pardon of Innocence? Should be in every school in America. Amen?
Amen.
That's what I thought. So I wrote a song based on his book. We've become great friends. I've shared my initiative with Michael and General Flynn, rather. And what we're trying to do is use entertainment and events to fund this movement. So what we did was I wrote the song, and I gave him a beautiful electric guitar that looked like an American flag here a few weeks ago. And I printed 3 canvases because he was a what?
3-star general.
So the first one went to his house with the guitar. And the other 2 prints that I have one right here of the lyrics poster. You can turn that around.
Bring it around, Deepak.
And
Take it around, show it to him.
That's one of 3. That's a canvas reprint of the actual lyrics poster we're going to be offering at the shows.
But wait, Tom, there's more.
But wait, there's more.
You're going to get the general to sign it for them.
Whoever purchases it, I can either have it made out to you personally or we'll just sign it for you and you can put it on your wall because this song was sang by Robbie Wyckoff, who traveled with a little band you guys might have heard of called Pink Floyd.
Oh.
So Robbie's on lead vocals. I'm behind Robbie. So Dan,
great
do
band.
your thing, baby.
Too bad Waters is a liberal, but the great
By
band.
the way,
great
before
band,
I say-
great band. All
the
right.
Commander's
There he
artist,
is.
Mike
He's a
Marone, is the
liberal
one who made
tool.
these pictures.
Let's start at 5, and you're going to get it autographed. Okay,
Yep.
500, easy. We're going to get up to 1,000. Oh, we're going to get it easy. This is going to go so. Do I need to start higher? I saw 3 hands go up when I
Yeah,
started
you need
at
to go
5.
way higher. We sold one of those for like $3,000 similar.
So I should start at 1,000?
Yeah, I'd
Will hands
start at
pop
that.
up? Huh? They're ready to go 5. It's going to go so quick. You ready? Here we go. Can I get 5? There's 5. Can I get 6? There's 6. Oh, you're going to do 1,000. So he's wiping all 3 of them out. 1,000. Can I get 1,100? Thank you, ma'am. 1,100 there. She went 1,000.
And I'm going to sign
she
it too,
just
Dan.
jumped up. How much are you doing? No, she said 1,000. Sir, would you like the microphone and do my job? She didn't say 5. She said 1,000. Can we get some hearing aid batteries for the guy over there in the vest? Okay, 1,000. Here we go. Who'll give me 1,100? I got 1,000. Go 11. I got 1,000. Who's going to go 11? We got 1,000.
Dan, right side.
There's 11. 11 go 12. 11 go 12. 12 now 13. 12 now 13. 13 not 14. 14. She's at 13. She'll go 14. Now I need 15. 15 now I need 16. 15 now I need 16. Don't think about it too long. She's going 16 now 17. 17 and 18. Let's go. I got 17. 17 going once.
I think
need
somebody
18.
over here really
17
wants
going
this for
twice.
their office.
I need 18. 17.
Doctor.
I'm going to say it. Oh, 17 back there. Now I need 18. 18, I need 19. 19, now I need 2,000. 19, now I need 2,000. You gonna jump back in? 19, 19 going once. 19, $2,000 back there. I need 21 over here. 2,000 going once. 2,000 going twice. 21, 21. You gotta go 22 now. 22, 22, 22.
He wants it.
Oh, really?
If you want to do that.
Okay, hold on. Let me back up. Can you get them both signed?
I already got it approved.
Okay, hold on. You're at 21. I would see you at 22. If I can get you both, will you both do 21 and he'll get them both signed? He just said he's got, remember he said he had 4 of these. He kept 1. We're giving 2 away. Well, we're auctioning 2 off. So at 21, 21 and 21. They're nodding yes. 21 twice. $4,200 sold. Yeah.
So here's the deal.
You're going to get 1.
So there are 3
Yes.
and
Whoa, she wants to donate 25.
thank you.
And he can stay at your 21 unless you'd
Stay
like
at
to
21.
step up to.
I'll
She
tell you what I'm
wants
going to
give
do
more
for
money.
you. For those of you
Can
that
I get a big round of applause
thank you
for
so
both
much
these
for everybody.
folks?
Now, Dan, as you know,
That was awesome.
Give a bigger round of applause than
Yeah.
that for our
Thank you,
veterans as
dear.
well. Danny,
Yeah, we got 1 left. We got to hurry. We got to.
for
Hey,
everybody
Kim's
that
gonna start
bought,
yelling.
I'm shipping them some barbecue sauce, just so you know.
Hey, there you go.
know.
Right on, right on.
Thank
right
you
on.
guys so much. It's been an honor to be part of this tonight.
Thank you, Tom. Help me with the
And,
last one real quick, and then we got a message from
boom.
our sparkly friends too.
This
Now,
is the-
this one I love. Deepak, help me with this one.
This is a 50th
Yeah, okay,
anniversary,
carry it around.
250th anniversary piece that Commander's artist Mike Marone signed and sent to me. President Trump has one of these. There's several people that have one. As you
This
can see,
is, if I can say this in my church, I'm going to get in trouble. This is badass. This
Okay.
is so cool. I'm sorry, but
And
we
turn it
got
around.
Trump, we got Bobby, we got Ronnie, we got JD, we got George, we got Abe, we got Andrew.
and it's
That's
autographed.
pretty sweet.
It's
And the
autographed by
artist
Mike.
signed it.
And here's the deal. If you buy this one right here, we framed it up real nice for you. We'll
That's a
ship
nice
it out
frame.
to you. And I'll also send you some of my Whiskey Town barbecue sauce because I love you guys.
What I like,
So,
this is perfect for next summer. If you're having a 250th party, that's what this is all about.
This is a this piece is gone. I want to tell you, this piece is gone for as much as thousands.
You said you got
Many
4 or 5
thousands.
grand in Mar-a-Lago.
Yeah,
Okay,
so-
then I'm starting 1,000 again on this one. That's a
Danny,
beautiful
do your
one.
thing.
All right, $1,000. Let's go. Here we go. There's one. She's going to get this one. 1,000. Can I get 11? I got 1,000. I need 1,100. 1,000. Can I get 1,100? Nobody's going to jump in. Who's making my job easy now? 1,100. Who's going to give me 11? I got 1,000. Nobody up there. Nobody. I'm going to go once. I'm going to go twice. $1,100. She's jumping back in. Now we got 12. 12. Let's go 13. 12. Now 13. Yes, you're going to go 13. Give me the nod. You're going to go 13. Oh, she wants to see it. Deepak, show it to her. Show it to her. 1,200 over here. I need 13. Nod. Yes, you'll go 13. It's an extra $100. You waste that getting your nails done. Just go 13 and shut up. 13. Hurry up. I got to go. 13. Now I need 14. 14. Now I need 15. This is how we do these. 14. You're going to go 15. Yes or no? 14 going once. You're going to go 15. 14 going twice. 15. Now I need 16. 16. Now I need 17. 17. 16
Hey,
going
this
once.
piece right here is hanging in the White House.
16 going
I'm just
twice.
saying, this piece
I
is
need
hanging in the
17.
White House.
I need 17.
All I can tell you.
$1,600. 16. Oh, whoa, up there. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
We got a
17,
flag.
way up there. 18. Now we need 18. 18. Now I need 19. You gonna jump back in? 1900. 18 going once. 19 up here. 1800 going twice. She's asking the hubs, leaning over. Come on. Let's go, let's go. We got to hear from the other half the candidates. You're wasting time. 19, now 2,000. 2,000, now 21. 2,000, now 21. 2,000 going once. 2,000 going twice. Whoa, she jumps back in. Uh-oh. 2,100, now we need 22. She's at 22, now I need 23. 23, now we need 24. 23, now we need 24. 23, now 24. 23, now 24. Whoa, 24. 25. 25, okay, 26. 2,500 going once. 2,500 going, oh, 2,600. You guys, ooh, 27.
You might have to go up 200 at a time now, Danny.
Okay, 28. 28. 27 going once. 27 going twice. Nope, I'm not doing 50s. Don't nickel and dime this crap. Jeez Louise. 28, now 29. Just say 3,000 and buy it. 29. She's at 29. I need 3 grand. Let's go. 29 going once. 29. We don't have 2 of these. We don't have 2 of these.
If I had to, what would you pay for it?
29 going.
I only have
twice.
one of these. That's why
I'm
you got to get it
wrapping up,
tonight.
Tom. I'm wrapping it up. 29 going twice. Sold. She got something right
Thank
there.
you so much.
Big round of applause.
Thank you, Dan.
Hey, thank you guys.
All right,
Grab
we're going to
your
get off
stuff, grab
stage.
your
Y'all got to
stuff.
press on.
Clear the stage. We got to get ready. Clear it.
We'll
get out of
get
here.
the details, everybody.
You
that's
guys want to offer,
we'll-
Tom, real quick. Our
Yes,
friends
sir.
that have all the pretty sparkly stuff. You
Yes.
want to offer a deal for everybody?
Yes. Hey guys, if you guys think I'm pricey, just come by, make an offer. We've been doing this for 9.5 years, and we hire all the J6ers. They make the jackets for us in Dallas, Texas, including the jewelry. So, we want to keep them employed. We pay them really well money. And like I said, negotiate with me. We've been doing this for 9.5 years. We will work with everybody. Okay? Thank you.
Sonny, Jace, thank you guys. I'll see you out there for some bling. Big thanks again to all the sponsors, to the folks here at Awaken Church, to Tom and Deepak for the great tunes, for General Flynn sending that video. Are you guys ready to hear from more of your gubernatorial candidates in the showdown? That was fun, huh? Who knew the TV guy can auction crap? You know I was supposed to be sitting up here, right? People talk to me about running and doing this. And I went, do I really want to be part of this? No. I'll keep my little TV job. Without further ado, where is Miss Kim? I should be introing Kim and the other half of the candidates. There she is. Get her mic on. Let's go. Did I do okay? Did you raise some cash? Woo! Okay, I'm out of here.
Beautiful.
Good night. Thanks, everybody.
Testing. Oh, yeah. Our voices are meant to be heard, aren't they? That was awesome, you guys. Well done. Now, without further ado, you've been waiting. You got round 1. We are in round 2. Then we'll complete with round 3. We're going to powerfully pray over our candidates. And then we'll complete with a very special song, a debut of Take Your Power Back. California by Tom Katz. But before that, we got some work to do. Are you ready for our next round? Yes? All right, fantastic. Let's first bring back our amazing moderators, Lara Logan and Dr. Douglas G. Frank, to the stage. Let's give them a round of applause. Amazing.
Thanks for the candidates.
Fantastic, thank you. Love it, love it. All right. Now, there's a correction we've got to make before we move on. Did you all see that amazing video that was done this morning? There was not this morning, but earlier. The one where all the candidates and the bear. You saw that? Do you know how many times we've seen that video and I never saw that it said David Mercury and not Daniel Mercury? Have you ever done that? Where you just, big faux pas, you just missed it?
What was his name, Derek?
No, it wasn't Derek, it was Daniel, Doug.
That's right.
Daniel, Doug. It was Daniel. So, might I say that candidate was Daniel Mercury, and we love Daniel. So we just wanted to make sure we acknowledge Daniel. So sometimes we make a mess, but we clean it up, and we turn our mess into our message. All right, without further ado, our next round of candidates coming to the stage right now, and let me back up. All right, we've got Pastor Che-on. Let's give him a round of applause. Pastor Che, come on over. Woo, 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 woo. Excellent. So good. Our next up, we have David Serpa. Come on, David. And next up, we've got Daniel Mercury. Come on, Daniel. And we've got in the house, Louis Herms. And without further ado, Steve Hilton. We've got Scott Shields. Scott, give me some skin. Oh, yeah. All right, candidates, would you please take your seats? All right, so now just to do a little bit of a refresher for you. First round of candidates did an excellent job, did they not? Yes? Yes? Okay, we're ready for round two. We have 4 questions for you this evening. The first question, you will have 1 minute to answer. The second question, third and fourth, you will have 2 minutes to answer that question. Now, Josiah in the back end, would you remind us of the sound of the bell upon the completion of the 1 minute and then 2 minutes? Let the games begin. Round 1, Lara Logan, bring on that question.
So thank you very much, all of you, for being here and putting yourselves out and being willing to serve. Very much appreciated. And I'd like to start with the elephant in the room, which is what is wrong with the GOP in the state of California?
That's a softball question.
Scott Shields,
That's
up
my
first.
specialty.
Okay, I've got 30 seconds. I can't say that.
1 minute.
I can't say anything's wrong with him because I'm not familiar with him. But I do know that there's a losing record. So if you give the analogy of sports, we're in last place. So I think it's important to at least consider a different playbook and really identify what the opposition's playbook is and attack it, and not play around with it. A sporting event can be competitive and serious. And I think that's what we have to do to take back California and the Republican Party. So that's what I believe is I don't know if there's one problem except the playbook. And I think we all have to discuss it. I've got my playbook that I think is going to be very effective. These candidates have been working hard on their playbook. I can win this.
Hold that mic close, brother.
I can win this election with my playbook. And I hope I can get the support.
That was Scott Shields. Next up, let's pass that mic along to Let's actually pass that mic along to Mr. Steve Hilton.
All right, I'm going to stand up. I want to bring some energy into this room. I'll tell you what is wrong with the Republican Party in California. We are not winning. We need to win in California. I'm tired of being told that you have to put up with it or leave this state. Why should we leave? We're not the ones that did this to our beautiful state. They need to leave. The corrupt, rotten regime in Sacramento, the establishment in Sacramento, and for too long the Republican Party's been propping it up. We need to fight back. What did President Trump teach us? Fight, fight, fight. That's how we take our state back. We've got to fight the corrupt elite. We've got to fight for working people in California, small business in California, fight for freedom and opportunity. My family left communism in Hungary. I came here with my wife and 2 children not to have the flame of freedom extinguished here in California by this corrupt, rotten regime. We are going to fight and we are going to win.
Steve Hilton. Thank you, Steve. And pass that mic over to Louis Hearns.
Just to remind you, the question is, what is wrong with the GOP in the state of California?
Thank you, Laura. Well, first, this won't be popular, but it's a captured operation in California. That's the truth. The reality is they spend more time trying to put a rhino, Republican in name only, in office. The primaries are the most important, and they focus on getting a rhino because they know the Democrats there, it's 2 sides of one coin. It's a game. The primaries are the most important. The California GOP focuses everything where? They tell you to focus on the general election, don't they? Elections are won and lost in the primary. The California GOP, in my opinion, is a captured operation. They'll support 5 people while they're raising money for them, and at the last second, they'll throw it all into who I believe they have compromised. I don't need my full time for that.
Thank you, Louis Hearns. Daniel Mercury.
Thank you. I love this question. So I truly believe too that they are compromised, but here's the problem though, they become the party paid to lose. They're the party that only focuses on how much money a candidate can make. They only focus on whether or not that candidate is willing to sign any sort of agreements behind closed doors and all these silent accords. And so then it compromises the candidate, or the candidate is willing to be compromised under those sort of regimes. So they don't care about the nature of the character of the candidate. They do not care about their constitutional prowess. They don't care if the individual at the grassroots level, if they are somebody who stands on God, country, family. They don't care about any of that stuff. They care about their pockets. They care about maintaining control. And most importantly, they only care about constantly just trying to raise a sort of revenue for those who are on the upper echelons of the party. This is why they give themselves their own sort of, pay raise. So for me, I don't really care whether or not they want to endorse me or not. They are a party paid to lose.
Thank you. Right over to David Serpa. Thank you, Daniel.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Piggybacking off of what Mr. Hilton said, the Republican Party in the state of California is the party of principled losers. We are a participation trophy party. We have no real leadership coming from the party. We need to do 3 things in order to win. We need to have the right candidates running for the right seats. We need to have an organization that can support those players, and we need to have a mission statement that we all can stand behind, something like a contract with California or a contract with America, because Texas was flipped in one election cycle in 1994 after being blue for 180 years. Just like Prop 50, how we are worried about losing 5 seats out of 52 seats and only having 4 out of 52. We are a party of principled losers. Instead of concentrating on the 20 seats that are now within 10 points of what President Trump got in 2024, going on the offense, stop focusing on not losing and focus on winning.
Thank you. Right over to, thank you, David. Pastor Cheon.
I'm going to say something that's radical. The problem is not being a Democrat or a Republican. The problem is righteousness. Righteousness exalts a nation, Proverbs 14:34. And what we have is unrighteous people in office. So we need a revival beginning with leaders. And I'm talking about even in the church first, because judgment begins in the house of God. 1 Peter 4, verse 17. So what I want to do is I want to see revival. I want to see the leadership of the church leaders to bring about reform, even to impact the Republican Party. I'm going to ask other pastors to run for office like I'm running. I feel I'm setting an example that we can't just pray about the problems. We need to engage. The Bible says those who know their God will be strong and take action in Daniel chapter 11, verse 32. So what I want to do is I want to see a revival beginning with leaders in the church. Most of them are conservative. Most of them are Republican. And I believe that will impact the
Excellent. Thank you,
Republican
Pastor
Party.
Che. Let's have you hold that mic for a moment. We're going to bring that right back to Pastor Che. Now, that was question 1. We're going to move over to question 2. Dr. Douglas G. Frank, you can take a seat, Pastor Che, until you're ready. Doug, let's ask that question, and then we're going to now go in reverse.
Outstanding. I like that first softball question by
That was
Lara.
awesome.
Fire!
Fire!
I also like what Kim was saying. These are the guys standing in the gap. It's pretty good. I like it. But anyway, ready for another softball, you guys?
Let's go.
The LA Times calls me the Johnny Appleseed of election integrity because I've been traveling the country, 48 states, analyzing voter rolls, election outcomes, and let me tell you, it's a disaster out there. And California is among the worst in the country. I got the numbers to prove it, okay? Your elections are a disaster. You mail 3 ballots out, 2 of them go to somebody real, 1 ballot goes somewhere else. What kind of election is that? No wonder you have so much cheating. Your people have lost faith in your elections. So here's the first part. How are you going to win in that kind of climate? Okay? And 2, if you do become government, if you do become the governor, how are you going to fix this problem? It's a serious problem. You got machines, you've got systems, you don't have local control anymore. So first part is, how do you expect to win in this climate?
When the elections are rigged, that's what we mean by this climate.
Yeah, they're rigged. Yeah, exactly. How do you expect to win? And then second, if you were governor, how would you fix it?
Pastor Cheon, you're first.
Well, I was so encouraged when President Trump said we got to fix the election situation in California. We all know it's a mess. And what I want to do as governor is establish a commission to audit how the elections are being done. We have to have proper guidelines. We need to make sure everyone's a citizen. They have to have their voter ID. And I like the idea of everyone showing up on the same day without mail-in ballots and everyone voting when we're supposed to make it a national holiday, at least statewide in California, where people have the day off from school, from work, and they come and they vote like we used to do.
Excellent. Thank you, Pastor Che. And David Serpa.
Okay. So first off, how do you win an election when people are saying that we're past the point of voting? We go out and we talk to people. I've been talking to people for 3 years about voting, and they tell me we're past the point of voting, which means that 1, they don't trust this election system and their vote, or 2, they believe that violence is the answer. As a combat veteran, I refuse to believe that the only answer is Americans shooting at Americans on American soil. Refuse to believe that. Second, how do we win in this sort of situation where only 30% of people show up to vote? I mean, that's a huge issue. We need to start realizing that we become a party of apathy. The rest of the Republican Party in America treats us like a piggy bank. They come out here to Silicon Valley, they come out to Santa Barbara, they come out to Palm Springs, and then they leave for their competitive congressional districts elsewhere. If I win, we need to get the Secretary of State's office in control. We need to get our elections in control, not by moving back to same-day voting, voter ID, and whatnot, because why wouldn't we move back to stone carvings and smoke signals? We should be moving to the future with voting on a blockchain. The same sort of technology that we trust our money with in the stock market that provides real feedback instantaneously for your money, provides real instantaneous feedback for your vote. In the Secretary of State's office, you can't identify as a veteran. You can't say that you're a veteran on the ballot as one of your 3 ballot designations. Not only should that office be fixed, we should be able to identify as a veteran if we have served this country. But in addition to that, we should get the Secretary of State's office on an app. All of your paperwork, all of your records, all of everything that you need to have access to, you should have access in the palm of your hand. And then that way we aren't registering our cars for $850. We're registering our cars for 80 cents in the palm of our hands.
Thank you, David. Daniel Mercury.
I love David. I totally agree with David when it comes to why can't we, as candidates, put our name on the ballot as veterans. It doesn't understand. I think it's going to put everybody else at a disadvantage. So that's nonsense. But when it comes to trying to, when it comes to what are we going to do to try to win in this particular climate, well, I would encourage all of you out there to encourage as many Democrats as you possibly can to run for governor so that they can split the vote, right? Let's get as many dinos in there as we possibly can instead of rhinos, right? But when I think about this, we have to think about a number of things, right? What would I do if I become governor and I want to win? Well, one of the first things that I do, and I encourage everybody to do right now, is get involved with your local registration county clerk's office. They are the ones who are the key to our elections and the integrity of our elections. Many of them are either voted in by the people, they can be recalled. Some of them are actually put in by the Board of Supervisors. So we need to actually involve ourselves into that region of our local government to ensure that we have increased poll watching. We make sure that they are adhering to the California State Constitution, Article 1, I think it's Article 2, Section 2, that ensures that all votes must be counted, not to just shut down at 8 o'clock and then all of a sudden they declare the winner. That's not how this works. And under my administration, you put me in office, I'm going to make sure first and foremost that when it comes to our elections, when it comes to the integrity of our elections, we have to ensure a chain of custody. We need to involve our local sheriffs. We need to involve our actual National Guard. This is one of the most sacred things that we have to maintain our governorship, to maintain our government, because if I think correctly and clearly, the Constitution ensures that the status of the people remain above government. But if they're cheating the system, there is no way that your status can ever be above government and maintain control of them. Right. So this is one of the key things. And lastly, one of the things that we need to do is we need to purge the voter roll yearly. Why? Here's why you do that. Dead people can't be registered, and of course, illegal aliens aren't going to make themselves present. So let's make this happen.
Thank you, Danielle. Louis Herms.
Well, let's have a second of honesty. Under the current system, nobody here is going to win an election. That's the reality of it. So how do we fix it now? You're not going to fix it. We're not going to fix it after we get in.
Glad I thought of it.
Right? Thank you very much, Dr. Doug Frank, ladies and gentlemen. What do we need to do? We, the people, need to rise up. We, the people, need to be getting involved right now. We, the people, have to educate everybody on what the heck is going on. So I'll give you a little education and see if this resonates with you. In 2018, Orange County, California, 5 Republicans were put in to the county seats. Yet, in the morning, 5 Democrats took those seats. How's that possible?
Cheating.
That's ballot harvesting. Okay? It's ballot harvesting. Now, I believe there's a deep state parasitic cabal that's running this mess. All right? That's what's going on right now. So they're ballot harvesting. You think that was new for them? No, they've been doing it 40 years over all around the world. The CIA, sorry, 3-letter agency, has been highly involved in this. So in 2018, I don't think they were testing whether ballot harvesting worked. You know what they were doing? They were seeing what the apathy of the Republicans were. And it was horrible because the next day, you know what all 5 of them said? We'll get them next time. Right? That's what they're checking. So at that moment in 2018, they knew they won the 2020 election. Think about that. We need to educate people for We the People really quick since they have a couple seconds left. Voter IDs, no brainer. Same day voting, paper ballots, yada, yada, yada. Of course, one more thing, serial numbers.
Thank you, Louis Herms. And Steve Hilton.
All right. The question, how are we going to win? The president taught us the answer. You know the phrase, too big to rig. That is actually how we win this election. And I'm going to tell you what that means in practice. Here are the numbers. Next year is a midterm election. In the midterm election, to project the total number of votes we can expect in California next year, you take the average of the last two, 2018, 2022. The number of votes estimated in California next year, 11.8 million. To win, I will need just over half of that, call it 5.9 million. People say there aren't enough Republican votes in California for a Republican to win. Well, guess how many votes President Trump got in California last year without even campaigning here. 6.1 million votes. If everybody who voted for President Trump last year votes for me for governor next year, I will be the next governor of California with 200,000 votes to spare. That's how we do it. We get the Trump vote out. Voter ID is how we do that, because we know it's popular across the board. It's especially popular with Republican voters. If we get it on the ballot for next year, that's how we get the turnout we need to make it too big to rig. And here's the second and most important part, and it goes back to Lara's question. For so long we've been told in California, to win here, you need to be some kind of watered down version of a Republican, some kind of Democrat light. No, to get that vote out, we need an inspiring, clear, strong, common sense conservative message, dismantling the climate insanity, ending the gender ideology, strong, clear messages. That's how we get the vote out. And finally, what would I do to make this system better in the future? I don't know about, I love you, David, but the blockchain, I'm not sure. I'm kind of old-fashioned. Vote on one day, count on one day, results on one day, paper and ballots. That's how we make a system everyone can have confidence in.
Thank you, Steve. And Scott Shields.
I get a stand this time. I know a little bit about voting. Okay, we did create.
Hold that mic nice and close.
We did create. We did.
Swallow that mic,
We
brother.
did create a blockchain solution, and nobody wanted it. I know people you know. The government does not want a blockchain solution because it applies what we call VITA, verifiability, integrity, transparency, and accountability. And that's what has to happen to fix the voters. The second thing that has to happen, or the fraud, the second thing that has to happen is we have to have a spiritual enlightenment across the whole state. That includes non-party participants, registered voters, which is 5 million people. A lot of them have a spirit, but they're under the indoctrination of Marxism and communism. Okay, and I call it, and we wrote a thesis on it. You're going to be seeing some of my white papers on it before the thesis comes out. It is definitely a mind virus. Atheist Marxism is a mind virus. Viruses are biological, thoughts are biological. The indoctrination of people to eliminate their spirit, their God-given spirit, is what stops them from being righteous. We have to bring an enlightenment here in California. That doesn't mean they have to be Christian, doesn't have to mean they have to be Muslim, it doesn't have to mean they mean to be Hindu, doesn't mean they have to be Buddhist or Taoist. What they have to have is to look inside and find their spirit that the atheist Marxists took away. And when they do, they're going to realize cheating is not correct. Because atheist Marxist principles are the mind virus of atheist Marxism will lead to the societal cancer of communism. And when you explain that to people, they get it. They get it at the personal level. Because most people...
Thank you, Scott. I'll take your mic. Excellent. That was round 2, or question 2. Now we're moving on to question 3. Lara, we're going to move that over to you, this question. And we're actually going to mix it up a little bit. I'm going to start right over here with Daniel Mercury. So, question is...
With Derek Mercury?
It is Daniel Mercury. Lara.
Okay, California is the breadbasket of the nation, yet food supply is under attack. Ranchers are being forced off their properties, particularly family farms. The meat packing industry is a monopoly. We are bringing in imported beef. We are destroying our food supply, and it's been sacrificed at the altar of false climate policies. With the World Economic Forum and COP33 and all these other things, still very much a threat. So water, of course, being critical to all of this. So I would like to know from each one of you what the top 3 things are you're going to do to take back control of the food supply and protect the ranchers and farmers of this state.
Excellent.
Great question. I think one of the first things that we need to do when it comes to water and when it comes to farming, because of course they're intertwined with each other, is we have to first look at, I think it's senior right holders, that a diversion of water is being illegally removed from them pre-legislation, meaning pre our state constitution. So a lot of these farmers who are third, fourth generations, for the most part, are having their water that they are already senior to, that cannot be touched, is being touched. I think one bill was just passed just recently by Gavin Newsom, AB 467, that charges them $1,000 if they go over a particular limit. That limits our ability here in the state of California, one, to produce more crops, more food. And of course, if that happens and they have to skip a season, then crops start to die out. So this is a very huge problem here that we have in the state of California. Number two, one of the things that we can increase in is desalination. But desalination, we have 12 plants here in the state of California. San Diego produces 50 million gallons alone, and it's the largest one here in the state of California. But we need more. But why can't we have more? That's because they require a certain amount of kilowatts, to which they have shut down at least 3 major power plants that provide to all of us, and yet we wonder why we have to shut down, we have to have these blackouts, is because they turned it off for green. But the problem is they're not mitigating some of this go green. So under my administration, when we want to try new renewable energies, which I'm all in support of, but in order to do that, you have to mitigate these issues. For number 3, by choosing at least a small town willing to test out new technologies instead of wasting what they did with the, I think it's the Iron Paw solar panels, $2.2 billion here in the state of California that didn't work. And if we look at Texas, they froze over when they tried to use this. You're not going to have that here with me. We're going to turn on the oil pipelines. We're going to make sure that the power is plentiful, and we're going to make sure that the farmers get the water that they require by building new desalination plants here in the state of California, just for starters.
Excellent, Daniel. Thank you. And we have Louis Herms.
This is a fascinating subject, actually, and something I'm diving deep into currently, because what we have to understand first, in my opinion, is that the food is poison, and it's intentional, right? I don't even have to wear my tinfoil hat. I think most of you can agree that the food is poison here. So if they're intentionally poisoning our food, why would that be? Because a sick population is a controllable population, right? Again, it's about we the people now stepping up and getting the word out and explaining to people this is what's going on. But there are fixes. There's real fixes. Now, I'd like everybody to understand, there's not real organic food in California. Did you know that? Yeah, that's a con. Okay, there's not true organic food. And I love what Bobby Kennedy's doing, because he's really starting to attack some of the chemicals in the dyes and so on and so forth, right? It's great. My wife and I have traveled all over the place, and I can tell you when we go to Central, South America, we were just in Ireland, guess what? It's illegal there. They don't put that stuff in their food. So why do we have it here? Because they're trying to control this population, right? Call it about money, that's fine. But when we're sick, we're controllable. But there's very easy and concrete ideas. I'm going to tell you something very, very woo-woo. So here, this is my tinfoil hat. You ready for this? You know what we can do to the farms? We can add copper wiring around them, and we can actually sing. It's proven. There's people that travel the world. You can sing to crops, and they grow at a rate of twice as much. You can absolutely do that. I know it sounds crazy, but you know what else you can do, which isn't very important? You can remineralize the soil by rotating the crops, right? We don't need all this crazy chemicals in this. God has given us the most amazing food that you could ever have, but we have corrupted it, and that's satanic.
Thank you, Louis. Next up, Pastor Cheon.
God has so blessed California. When you think of Fresno County, if it was a nation, it would be the 5th richest agricultural nation in the world. And yet the farm industry is just in peril because of the infrastructure of not having enough water. We have water for 20 million people. We need it for 40 million. We are a state of 40 million people. And so, for example, the delta that brings in water to the farmers, we are dealing with not draining or removing the dirt in the delta. So because of endangered species, like the smelt fish, like the salmon. And so what we do is we have this runoff and we put the Delta River right into the Pacific Ocean instead of using it. We already passed a bill to increase the size of the Shasta Dam, and yet we're not giving a single cent for that. We passed a bill to have a desalination plant in Huntington Beach, and yet we have not acted on that. And so it's no longer we the people, but it's run by a totalitarian Marxist government that's communist, and they're dictating based on their ideology instead of the freedom that this country was founded on.
Thank you, Pastor Che. Scott Shields.
This is a tough one for me. My candidacy is
Hold it close.
My candidacy is new, and I'm knowledgeable in subjects, but my experience is to surround myself with very, very knowledgeable people so we can analyze and discuss solutions on what they are. These gentlemen here have done a great job on that. They've done their homework. They know the space. My personal opinion is California has to go to Donald Trump. Donald Trump has to get involved in this. Whoever's head of the agricultural department at the federal level has to help plan some of these good solutions that you have and has to endorse it. Now, I see Steve shaking his head. He'll comment on that maybe. I am certain that Donald Trump has the power in the ag, and Bobby Kennedy, as you mentioned, to help bring policy here that a governor can help sell to the people and the legislators. That's the important thing. I don't know that I can do that without them. I don't know if we can do a lot without Trump's endorsement, whether it's me, Steve, everybody else here, without Trump's endorsement, and I don't mean, I like him. I'm coming here to help you. And Bobby Kennedy says, I'm coming here to help you. I can get both of them to endorse me. I assure you of that. I will get both of those endorsements, and that's key to everything and all the questions that we're talking about. I will get their endorsements. I state everybody here should attack that also. Whoever's going to be governor has to get Trump and Bobby Kennedy's endorsement, and we have votes. You run away from Trump, you run away from Bobby Kennedy, and that's the problem with the Republican Party. I was sitting there, now I'm standing. That's the problem with the Republican Party. You don't run away from Bobby Kennedy, and you don't run away from Donald Trump.
Thank you, Scott. Steve Hilton.
Thank you very much. All right. I was only shaking my... No, by the way, good haircut. Very good haircut. Isn't it time for a governor with less hair? I'm only shaking my head. I'm only shaking my head because I half agree. Yeah, exactly. We got some very strong candidates here. I half agree. Of course we want to work with the federal government. Isn't it going to be fantastic when we have a governor that wants to work with the administration rather than constantly fighting them? And I agree with you. Brooke Rollins, the ag secretary, she's a friend of mine. Yes, of course, we're going to work with them. Look, I love our ag industry. I've been on the road for the last 3 years getting ready for this. I've spent so much time in the Central Valley. Literally last night, I was in Chowchilla in the morning, down in Tulare County. I know our farmers. I love our farmers. There are three big issues. Number one, water. By the way, when I talk about this subject, I know, I still have the accent. I'm a proud American, I'll have you know, just in case anyone was doubting. But there are certain words, especially on this issue, you've got to really say it in an American accent. I'm going to get water to our farmers, not water. And the other one, our ranchers. Our ranchers need our help. I've been out on the ranch with them riding the horses. Here are the three big issues. Water, but it's also energy and it's labor regulations. On all three, there's a lot that we can do here. The pastor was exactly right. We need to raise Shasta Dam 18 feet. That is the exact proposal. We need, even within our current system, without building any new infrastructure. I was there in Colusa County. I should have been 100 feet underwater. That's where the Sites Reservoir should have been built in the 1970s, blocked by ridiculous environmental rules. But right now, today, even without any new infrastructure, by appointing people to the State Water Resources Control Board, we can increase deliveries to our farmers. That is what I will do. We will open up energy in California, our oil and gas, not this ridiculous solar farms, ripping out real farms. That's how we help our farmers, and we restore the 60-hour overtime rule.
Thank you, Steve.
And we can help them in that way too.
Thank you. All right, next up, David Serpa.
Okay, hello everybody. So all of these bread baskets being under attack throughout the world are by design. Okay, Ukraine
You're right.
is the bread basket of Europe. Iran is the bread basket of the Middle East. California is the bread basket of America. All of the attacks on our water and our energy are by design. So we need to have plentiful water, invest in not only desalination, which costs about $2 billion for each desalination plant, but capture the 5 trillion gallons that are spilling out into the Delta every year. In addition to that, we need to open up more of California for small to mid-level farmers by opening up more of the map to the USDA loan so that we have more small and mid-level farmers getting involved. We need to build decentralized micro-nuclear grids because we privatized nuclear energy in 1992 and we've been heavily government subsidizing it ever since. And the fact is to failure. We've been getting dog walked on a national stage because everyone says, well, Iran is enriching uranium. Well, you know who's not enriching uranium, my friends? America. 40% of our uranium is enriched in China. 30% of our uranium is enriched in Russia. And then I would not send one more American tax dollar outside of America. Not to Ukraine, not to Israel, not to Iran, not to the rest of the world. I am tired of Californians who pay $1.12 trillion in taxes every year, funding states that don't like us very much and funding countries that don't like us very much. America is built on tax rebellion. You get more of that money back to our farmers, back to our homeowners, back to our parents, put them in the driver's seat because there are a lot of states that don't have income tax and they're doing just fine. There are a lot of states that are cutting down on property tax and they're doing just fine. Give the power back to the people.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause for those first 3 questions. Excellent, excellent work. We're going to move over to our final question of round 2. And we started here. Doug, it's you. And we're going to mix it up again.
It's my turn, but Laura and I worked hard on this question.
Yes, you did. And I'm actually going to give this mic. Steve, you get to go first this time.
All right.
All right.
So Laura and I both, the earlier group heard that Laura and I spoke at the Rev 17 conference in June. We raised $4 million to buy a facility for rescuing and nurturing child sex trafficked children back to health. And I serve on that board now, so it's very personal to me, and I know that Laura serves on several boards too. So this question is about sex trafficking, okay? The United States sex trafficking industry is #1 in the world, illustrating the extent of our depravity. Our country is now spending more money on raping little children than we are on illegal drugs. Our government schools are grooming our children for consumption, and our government is setting up laws to take away parental rights to enhance this market. So, first, what do you think about that problem in California? How big is the problem in California? Second, are any of you already involved in addressing this issue? I hate it when politicians say, if you elect me, I will do X. What are you doing now to address this problem? And third, if you are elected governor, what would you do then? How about that? Question 1, how big of a problem do you think it is? 2, are you currently doing anything in that effort? And 3, if you're elected governor, what would you do about it?
And just to set the stage for this for all of you, we're talking about sex trafficking is how you murder a child without killing them. This is not a frivolous issue.
It's an unbelievably serious issue. And my first encounter with the issue, actually, I think there's never been a movie that has affected me more than a movie, I don't know if you saw this, it was a few years ago, called Lilia Forever. Lilia Forever, which told the story of a sex trafficked girl from Russia into Sweden. I still shudder to think of it, but it was, I literally left, this was back in England, many years ago, I literally left that movie theater and I said, I've got to do something about this. I can't just watch this and do nothing. And at the time, I was senior advisor to the Prime Minister in the UK. And I went back to 10 Downing Street to my office the next day. And I said, we have to act. And I was then, fortunately, in a position to act. And we did. And there was a minister in our cabinet who started a whole global effort on this. It started from the UK. That was many years ago. I actually can't tell you now what happened to that. But we acted. Is it a problem? The World Center for Child Sex Trafficking is just up the freeway in Los Angeles. Figueroa Street, to be precise. I mean, I'm not going to, I can't use the time to tell you that there's nothing more disgusting than this. And it stems from the fact that we've got an ideology in charge here in California that stems from that Marxist ideology that parents shouldn't be trusted, that the government is in charge, and everything we're seeing now in schools and with this issue, whether that's, AB 495.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
It's just...
I know. All right, next up, David Serpa.
Okay, thank you. This subject is very near and dear to my heart. If I am elected governor, we will end human trafficking in the first 180 days that I'm in office through something that my pastor up here and myself call Operation Disrupt and Restore. I worked with this gentleman back here, Pastor Rudy Gonzalez, his wife, Lori Gonzalez, and his daughter, Maddie Gonzalez in the back with CERT Ministries, Search, Evangelize, Rescue, and Train. Every Monday, they're doing armed training on their ranch. They are freeing human beings from being trafficked right here off of Figueroa. Pastor Rudy offered to do a ride-along for any one of these gentlemen that want to get involved. Because when I did my first ride-along with CERT Ministries, I was in 2018. I was out of the VA mental health facility, and I was trying to do something that made me feel alive, that made me believe in God. And when I reached out to this man and his wife and his daughter, they brought me along with them. And they put me in a flak jacket. And we drove down to Figueroa, and actually we drove down to Menifee, and we freed a human being from being trafficked. We gave them the opportunity to free themselves from being trafficked. And I was panicked. I was like, give me a machine gun. I feel naked. I feel uncomfortable. But Pastor Rudy was calm. He was collected. And the thing is what we will do is within the first 180 days, we'll end human trafficking by working with the California State Guard, by federally deputizing the California State Guard members out of Orange County. We're going to start getting involved. But the thing is we don't have to wait for anyone's permission. And when I had this meeting with that I invited Pastor Shea and Daniel and everybody too, and Steve Hilton and Sheriff Bianco, I told Sheriff Bianco, I said, you have the most powerful constitutional office in America. You are endorsed by the other 57 sheriffs. If we decided to end human trafficking and drug trafficking before Election Day, we could do it right now because we don't have to wait for anyone's permission to perform a citizen's arrest. You don't have to be a government official to knock on a door and say, I'm here to rescue God's children.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Scott Shields.
Powerful, David. I'm with you 100%. 100%. But we also have to look at something. My background is Chief Strategy Officer for Scale. And when you look at trafficking, you look at, okay, is it just sex? Is it just a few people?
Nope.
Right. It's scale. Why did it scale? In 2018, I was introduced. I went back to the Human Rights in Washington, D.C., and I was learning about organ harvesting for the first time. Yeah.
Yes, it's connected.
This touches my heart at a level that touches your heart. And you have it. I know that, Steve. I made it my effort to expose organ harvesting. And then during that path, I saw a lot of these sex slaves get put on drugs and sex, and then sold off to China to be cleaned up for organ harvesting. And our administration and our politicians and our business people know it.
Yep.
This isn't something that isn't, when I went to the Human Rights Commission and met with some of the brightest people that have been investigating this for years to see if I was just being told something, somebody wanted my money, right? Which can happen too. No, that wasn't the case. The truth has been being told for a long, long time on organ harvesting, and it's worldwide. And that's what I believe is why it scales. And we've got to stop it, and we've got to accept that and put the pressure on China, just like we didn't do on COVID to get in there to their facilities. We have to have open policy.
Thank you, Scott. Pastor Cheon.
I mentioned that righteousness exalts a nation. We've had really an evil government. We have had bills passed like SB 14.5 in 2000, where during the COVID, Senator Scott Weiner passed a bill that really legalized that a sex offender will not be registered, and legalized that it's up to the judge to decide whether an adult having a sex with someone that's under 18, if that's a felony. And they're not going to take those cases because the courts are flooded. So what it's done is legalize being a pederast here. And we're not talking about an 18 having sex with 16. We're talking about a 45-year-old man who wants to have sex with your teenage son. And so we're talking about bills like, for example, we passed in 2003, this is so egregious, it's SB 357, same person, Scott Weiner, Senate Bill 357, where the police cannot go up to a teenager hooking on Sunset Strip and ask for ID. It's racist. It's basically, we're defunding the police. We don't have time for this. Since that became law, human trafficking in Los Angeles has increased threefold, tripled, based on the research I've done. So we have a culture that is really attacking our children. Going with Proposition 1 that codified abortion into our state constitution, which became law right after Roe v. Wade had been overturned. And I really feel that we need to change the culture, and that's why I'm advocating spiritual revival. We need revival and reformation in the government, throughout culture, so that we can make this change and start protecting families and children. It's really about the family. It's an assault on the family. AB 1955, teachers are now allowed to tell the kids.
Thank you, Pastor Che. Thank you. Louis Herms.
I'm not going to stand on this one. This is a serious issue. This is the single biggest reason, as most of you know, why I entered the race. I've been working deeply on exposing child trafficking at a very, very high level. But here's the deal, and we need to realize this. This is the #1 economy in the United States and in California. The #1 economy. Think about that, right? But it's hidden. Why is it hidden? Because it's run by judges. It's run by corporations. It's run by political personnel, right? It's deep, it's sick. What happened not too long ago is the cartels and the powers that be figured out that they could not make as much money on drugs. You know, we have over 3 to 4 times more fentanyl that's needed to kill every American right here already in the States. And why would they spend money on fentanyl when it's going to kill their client? When they can take a child and they could resell that child 30, 40, 50 times a day. But we need to talk truth. These children are being anal penetrated. And that's the type of conversation we cannot run from any longer. So I did a film on it. It's called Cages. So that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing currently. I went to the border, right? I've been talking to sheriffs, everything I can possibly do. Here's where I would agree with David Serpa. The sheriffs have all the power to do this right now. Right this second.
Right now.
But we, the people, need to pressure them.
Speak it.
We need to get our butts off our chairs and stand in front of the sheriff's office and saying, we won't take it anymore. The children are our future, and we must demand accountability, and we must demand it now. God wants it. We need to take it.
Thank you, Louis.
Kim.
Last but not least, Daniel Mercury.
This is a very difficult subject matter. You asked the question, as to how it got here. And I think first and foremost, it got here because of the fact that we removed God out of our country. You may not want to hear that, but let me explain it to you. Let's go back to the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence more so. Our forefathers knew that we needed God in our lives.
Right.
Because it talked about creator, the laws of nature, nature's God. It talked about the judge of the world, and of course, divine providence. God was mentioned 4 times, but who are they talking about? The judge of the world. Who's that? Well, I got to read my Bible. Acts 17, verses 30, 31, 32, that Jesus was appointed because he defeated death as the judge of the world. So we need to bring God back into our lives, and we can't be afraid to do that. Number 2, you asked, hey, what are you doing right now? Let me tell you right now, I believe wholeheartedly people like Senator Scott Wiener is by far one of the biggest perverts we have in office right now. In doing so, people say, Daniel, what are you doing? Here's what I'm doing and I have been doing for the last year and a half. I have been pulling his bonds. I have been pulling his criminal liability. I have been pulling his actual oath of office. I've been outlining everything that he's done that is engaged in fiduciary delinquency, criminal misconduct, and he's violated parental rights. Where's parental rights located at? It's located in the Declaration of Independence under the laws of nature and of nature's God, which means government has no right to take away or impinge upon the right of the parent. It's their job to ensure parents' rights prevail. And this is how we're going to get back the core of our control of our children and end this $150 billion industry on the insanity that they do in attacking our children. I am a father, and this is one of the number one things that I'm going to do is to close our borders with the San Francisco Bay, the Los Angeles docks, and up north and down south to ensure that nobody traffics anything into our state. And if it's a human, those people will never be able to deliver anything and any goods and services into the state of California permanently.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you.
Kim, I just want to say one thing.
One
thing. We've had 13 candidates on the subject of sex trafficking, and one of the biggest ways that children are trafficked in this country is through the Child Protective Services and the family court system.
That is correct. Yeah, well said. Very important. Wow. All right, that was round 2. We went through 4 questions. Did they do a phenomenal job? Let's give them a round of applause. Excellent. Candidates, we are going to move into round 3. So how this is going to work is going to look like this. Lara, I'm going to have you take your mark right around the corner, right there. Yeah, perfect, beautiful, well done, awesome. Doug, same thing, right over here, fantastic. Okay, candidates, I'm going to have you take a mark on the stage. Let's come on up from your seats. Beautiful, fantastic. We're going to move into round 3. Let's bring in our first round of candidates. Backstage, where's my music? Where's my music? Come on, we're showing down still. Oh yeah. Excellent. Beautiful, well done. All right, let's get them all on stage. Grab your marks, guys. Excellent, excellent. Your 2026 California governor candidates. Let's bring it up. Come on. All right. Excellent, excellent job tonight. Now, every single one of you who purchased a ticket tonight received a thank you. And in that thank you, you had the opportunity to ask your candidate a question. We took all of those questions and we put them into those four questions that you listened to tonight. Okay? Now, there is one person in this room who has been randomly chosen to ask any candidate of your choice a question. So what it's going to look like is this. That candidate that is chosen will be given 2 minutes to respond. Candidates, are we good with that? 2 minutes to respond. Then we will go in 30-second rapid fire rounds. How do they do under the fire? All right, that's what it's going to look like. Lara, you're going to Lara, they do this to me all the time. Lara, you're amazing. I love you. All right,
Call me whatever you want. It's fine.
So Lara is going to make her way in between each of the candidates, and Doug will make his way afterwards. We're gonna start with this, right? All right. Doug
Yes, ma'am.
is going to go out to the person who
Whoever
I get
it
to
is.
choose. Gold ticket, Willy Wonka. Y'all remember Willy Wonka? Isn't that cool? All
Who's
right.
the golden ticket?
The golden ticket chosen tonight, randomly chosen, Kevin Pasco. Kevin Pasco, would you please stand?
Where are you, Kevin?
Excellent, Kevin.
There he is.
Excellent. Kevin.
Way to go, Kevin.
Beautiful.
Come on out here in the aisle.
Kevin, your question is just a pure question. There's no story. You just bring on that question. And Dr. Doug Frank is there to support you. Which candidate do you choose?
Which one you want to ask?
Go with Lewis.
He's going to go with Lewis.
All right, hang on. Who are you choosing?
Lewis Arms.
Lewis Herms. All right. And the question is?
And your question is, sir?
Lewis, if you become governor, what are you going to do about the child trafficking and the censorship on all our platforms and the state of California?
Well, it's interesting because most people know that if they know me, child trafficking is my #1 issue. But guess what? There wouldn't be child trafficking if we had no censorship. Because we've been trying as hard as we can, and the media's been suppressing us, the government's suppressing us. The #1 issue really is the suppression of our voice and the First Amendment. Because if our voices were where they should be, none of these problems would exist. What would I do? First thing I would do is, as Lara was indicating, is I would go after Child Protective Services and the judges that are obstructionist judges that are allowing this to go on, including chemical castration of our children. That's done. I would have a symposium with the sheriffs immediately and tell them, as I do with my other platform, remember your oath, we're always doing this, is we will hold you accountable or support you if you're doing your job. And that is mega important. We need to rise them up when they're doing their job, and when they're not, they need to be held accountable. First thing I'm going to do in regards to that is I'm going to have a website called exposure.ca.gov. And anybody that is acting inappropriately in regards to taking care of this issue will be exposed on our website. If a judge is not doing his job, he's going on a website. If CPS is not doing their job, we're calling them out on the website. And over, because we, the people, will end up having to put the pressure on it. It's never about me, and I'm sorry, it's not about these candidates, it's about you. And we, the people, have all the power to take California back and save our children 100%, but you got to step up, you got to do it.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lewis Herms. And let's start right here at the end. We're going to work our way in. Doug's going to come back up to the stage. Doug's going to take that side. And Lara, let's start right here with you, Kobe. And then Doug, we'll move on to who's down that other end. Yes, you are. We got Leo Zaki. All right, again, 30-second rounds. And the sound of the buzzer is? What's the sound of the buzzer? Give me that. Give me the ring. All right. Begin.
I'm Kobe J. Markham, California governor candidate, and if elected, what I would like to do to stop the child trafficking is use the California Highway Patrol, that are actually the California State Police, to start investigating and enforcing and breaking these rings and start working with them in addition to the FBI if these trafficking rings are internationally involved and also involved outside of the state of California. It's important to prosecute anybody involved with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Kobe.
Okay, you're up.
We have to educate our children about what's happening and how you can look for signs of sex trafficking. Also informing the parents is going to be key. We have to be vigilant in our communities to be able to prevent this, but most importantly, we have to crack down on the organized crime syndicates that are carrying this out. Having secure borders and making sure that these people are treated, the criminals, that is, are treated the way that they deserve, and that's thrown under the prison. We should absolutely use the death penalty against people that are taking out children like that.
Thank you, Leo.
We're going to maximize all the punishments for anybody that's committing any of these crimes, number one. Number two, we have to empower all of our law enforcement officials to go, don't hold back, go after them, go hard, make sure it's a full court press. But number three, we're going to make our voices louder than theirs. We're going to make sure that we educate everybody on the severity of what's going on in our state of California and make sure that nobody wants to offend against any of our children out there.
Thank you, Ryan.
In 2000, I sued Governor Newsom for locking down the church, my basic First Amendment rights. And then they tried to silence me by fining me $4.5 million and put me in jail. By God's grace, I went to the Supreme Court and I defended my freedom to speak about this issue. I won 6-3. I beat Newsom, then I'll beat him again.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor Shay.
I agree with all the criminal aspects that everybody said here, but I also think we need to set up a whistleblowing program that is very confidential, and so they can electronically get to the police department without having a fear in their community, because that's a reality. Fear. So we definitely need to apply a whistleblower program and protection for them. That is key.
Thank you, Scott.
Well, as a father of 6, number one most important thing is protecting our children. I don't know if you guys know the sheriff in Florida that perp walks his the people that do wrong things to children. We need to do the same. Our sheriffs should be perp walking these guys and making it known who they are and taking care of business. And if I'm governor, all these people in this line right here are going to have a voice in my thing. So we need everybody.
Thank you, David.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank all the candidates here for saying pretty much the same thing, that we're going to put these people in jail, or we're going to try to, because the first thing they said was we're going to get them arrested. We're going to hold them accountable. The word accountable is overused. I'm not looking for accountability. I'm looking for responsibility. I don't want to know how many people got arrested. I want to know how many people were sentenced after they got tried, and if they were convicted, they're going to go to jail for long periods of time. If you hurt a child, first 5 years, automatic, no questions asked, on top of everything else that you will be charged with.
Thank you, Leo.
Okay, we don't actually need to wait until we get elected. I invite every single one of you to go on a ride along with that man up there to Figueroa to see when it's actually happening. We need great attorney generals. We need great DAs. We need great sheriffs to get to work. But the thing that we need to do is we need to go into CPS and we need to change the law that says that if you were involved in human trafficking, or if it's suspected of that your child automatically becomes a ward of the state, because their children should be being returned to their parents whenever they get...
Thank you, David.
So I'm going to focus on the censorship part, and I've been thinking about this a lot in the last few weeks since Charlie was murdered. There you are with your Charlie Freedom t-shirt. Thank you so much. Charlie was my friend for nearly 10 years. He endorsed me on day one. You'd better believe that this man who died for our right to speak freely, that we are going to keep his fight alive. We are going to fight these people when they try and censor us and silence us in this state. It will be the foundational thing that I will do for us as governor.
Thank you, Steve.
Can anybody say Second Amendment rights? I know that's like, foreign language here in California, but we have the most draconian gun laws, the most oppressive in the country. And I think I want to put guns back into citizens' hands, and we can defend our own homes and our communities.
Thank you, Jim.
Just a reminder that what we're doing here is addressing the question that was asked by the audience, which is with regard to child sex trafficking, correct? Okay,
And
just to be
censorship.
clear.
And censorship.
And censorship.
Greta?
Okay, I think there is three things that we definitely need to do. The very first thing, and strong on this, close the borders. We need to stop trafficking through the borders. Item number two is we need to educate our children and educate the adults as well, our society. We need to raise awareness about child trafficking. I don't think that everybody is aware about how much human trafficking is actually happening in California. And the third one is hold everybody accountable, both sides, supply and demand. The only way...
Thank you, Greta.
I think one of the first things that we need to do when it comes to pedophiles, or MAPS, if you want to call them that, is to bring back the death penalty. That's what we're going to do here at the state of California. Number two, we got to get a hold of our judges in family court. Under the California State Constitution, we have the Judicial Performance Committee. I'm going to reappoint 4 of the 11. I'm going to appoint a Superior Court judge, and we're going to make sure that all 2,227 judges here in the state of California don't just go unnoticed, but will be benched if they sit there and they try to remove children and put them in CPS. And we're going to we're going to destroy CPS. We're going to get back to ensuring that we protect our children.
And thank you, Daniel. Your 2026 California gubernatorial candidates. Let's give them a round of applause. Excellent, excellent, excellent work. Excellent work. So good. Now, we're not done yet. This is your opportunity. What man cannot do, God can do.
Amen.
We're going to take this opportunity to pray. And we are going to reach our arms out and we are going to declare tonight. So candidates, I want us to gather together. I want us to get a little closer. We're going to get squeezed in the middle. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in, Laura. Come on in. Doug?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm dialing. You're hanging up.
I'm hanging up. Got it.
You guys like that? You like that? Now listen, this is not a TV show. We broke the fourth wall tonight. This is about giving power back to you. We can't do this without you. Our goal is to take our California back. And we need every single one of you. No more sitting on the fence. Live streamers, no more sitting on the fence. Get off. It's time to stand in the gap because they are standing in the gap. And everybody in this audience tonight, reach your arms out. Father, God, we come before you, Father, in the name of Jesus. God, you are so good. Father, you are so good. Oh, God, thank you so much for creating us for this time. God, thank you so much for the intelligence, for the passion, for the tenacity of these candidates. Father, their heart to want to stand in the gap, their heart to speak out, their heart to see justice and to see liberty. Father, I pray for these candidates right now, God. I pray you touch them from the crown of their head to the soles of their feet. Father, I pray you speak to them, that they would discern your voice loud and clear, and that they would be obedient to your call. That, Father, it is so clear to them when the liars start speaking out the lies, their voice is attuned to you, Father. Their voice is attuned to you, Father, where they say, no, get behind me, Satan. I will not kowtower. I will not sell myself out. I will stand for the children. I will stand for the veterans. I will stand for the parents. I will stand for the people of this state, and I will stand with God. Father, you say in 2 Chronicles 7:14, if my people who are called by my name will seek my face, pray and turn from their wicked ways, you will hear their voice and heal their land. It's time for healing, Father. Bless them. May their mouth be your mouthpiece, Father God. And I pray for this audience right now. And no, they're not an audience. They are your people. They are involved. They too are standing in the gap, Father, that you would ignite them, that they would leave this room tonight and the candidates ignited, Father, like never before, because it will take every single one of us to take this incredible state back. God, you are good. You are a good daddy. Remind us of who we are, chosen, loved, whole and complete, made for this time. And you have got us. In Jesus' name, amen. Passing it to you, Doug.
Heavenly Father, in that same passage, the first thing you ask us to do is to humble ourselves and pray. Humility means recognizing the gifts we have are from you. Thank you for each one of these men on this stage tonight, that each one of them have gifts that you have given them, and they are devoting to your service. And Lord, we just pray that you'll fill them all with your Holy Spirit, fill us all with your Holy Spirit, so that we will do the work that you have designed for us to do, the work you gave us, the gifts you gave us to carry out. Lord, I just know that if we will humble ourselves and recognize those gifts that you've given us and pray and seek your face and turn from our wicked ways, Lord, we need that spiritual revival. We need that return to righteousness. And Lord, then yes, you say you will hear from heaven. You will forgive our sins and heal our land. And Lord, just make that happen and make it start tonight, right here in California, right now, as we take back your kingdom on earth. I pray that in Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Your kingdom on this earth as it is in heaven. One more time for our amazing moderators and our 2026 governor candidates. Woo, 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 woo. Thank you. Thank you. And guys, with that being said, we're not done yet. Candidates, I'm going to send you backstage right now. High five on the way out. High five on the way out, everybody. Give me some skin.
All right, well, that was decent, pretty good. Some got pretty fiery towards the end there. So appreciate everybody for tuning in. Kim Jeter there, San Diego Live Data is there, putting out the live stream. I just thought it started out a little slow, but it got going pretty good in the end. I'm glad everybody got to say what they did. And I have to go take care of some things right now, so this will be the end of the stream for me. And I think we pretty much got what we needed out of it.
It is a special debut of Tom Kaz. Take your power back, but don't go anywhere, because these candidates are going to stay. Okay. We're going to listen to the song together.
Well, maybe we'll do this song.
Up the stage, guys. Up the stage.
Off the stage. Get off the stage. Is that amazing?
They're going to play some music for you, then you're going to
All
go
right.
see them. Come on.
I'll let him play.
He wants you to stay on the stage.
Stay
on the stage.
Nah,
Stay on
I'm
the
done.
stage. Come on.
All right, thanks guys, appreciate it. Those are the candidates. If you want to go check it out, check out the rest of it.
I just follow instructions.
And,
Tom Kaz said,
leave in the comments who you think the best people
now.
are.
Let's go, Tom.
I'm not using my proper mic right now, so sorry about that. I was just basically trying to do the live stream, but I just wanted to give you guys a shout out before I left. And I do appreciate you tuning in again, as usual. On Tuesday, I'll be interviewing Allison Steinberg, which is going to be cool because I used to hang out with her. We used to protest together. She used to have me on OAN. We've done a lot of work. I was the first person to ever get her on InfoWars. Now she's in Washington, D.C., and she is like press there in the White House, and done a lot of viral videos confronting Nancy Pelosi and other people. And we'll be talking with her and kind of shooting the shit on the old days and seeing how it's up there, how it's treating her in Washington, D.C. Talk about current events and how the movement's going, whether she's happy with where we're heading or not. And yeah, so that's about it. I appreciate you guys coming in. Not too much commentary for me tonight. I just had to get that out for some friends. I was supposed to go there, but in the last minute, I was incapable of making it. So I endeavored to get the stream out to help get some eyeballs on these candidates. I will say I think Hilton did pretty good, but he is English. Used to work for number 10 Downing Street. I don't know. It's a little weird to have the British government involved in California politics. Not sure that we can do worse than Gavin, but you know, probably not ideal. But I'll let you guys go.